Well, good evening, racing fans. Welcome to racing action from Grand River Raceway for this Wednesday evening. Our first dash will go to post in approximately 20 minutes. Shall we get a look at the changes on this evening's card of racing? And the track is listed as fast and the announcer listed as slow. Note in race number 1, we have scratches of 5, 7, and 9. Scratch of 5, 7, and 9 out of race number 1. Race number 2, number 4, Veracruz, changing aluminum to steel shoes up front. That is aluminum to steel shoes up front. Races 3 and 4 have no changes. No changes. Races 3 or 4. In race number 5, number 6, Twin Beast Showmance has an equipment change. Open to side rolls. Open to side rolls on Twin Beast Showmance. Races 6, 7, and 8 have no changes. No changes. Races 6, 7, and 8. Race 9, 3, Ladysmith is scratched. Race 9, scratched 3, Ladysmith. And in race 10, there were no changes. No changes. Race number 10. Once again, reviewing races 1 and 2. Race 1, scratch 5, 7, and 9. And the second race, change on number 4, Veracruz. Aluminum to steel shoes up front. It's now 16 minutes to post time and time to welcome in our co-host, handicapping expert, live from Margaritaville, the big palace in Newmarket. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Gary. The palace gets bigger every time you do an introduction. And listen, beautiful day here in Newmarket, and looking forward to a great card of harness racing action tonight at the river. It's a wonderful Wednesday, so we take center stage for harness racing in Ontario and beyond. Pools are always a little bit bigger, and the racing action promises to be really competitive tonight. 10 dashes and trot heavy tonight. We haven't seen that too much so far this season. We are 7 trot events to 3 pacing events, and the starting dash in the card, race number 1, is those tricky 2-year-old maiden trotters. So type of race where anything can happen. I'll be honest, didn't have too strong of an opinion on that dash, and of course that's going to kick off the early pick 5. And for me tonight, my plays of the night, right smack dab in the middle of the card. I'm going to end with a single in that early pick 5 and start with a single in the late pick 5. Kind of liking the later sequences a little bit better, but still a big fan of the early ones. Finishing off with a single in race number 5 is going to be Radical Legacy. And then starting off in race 6, Internuk Shook Sally, one that I'm pretty fond of. We'll discuss a little more later on in the card. But as always, our 10 dash card kicks off with a early pick 5 of $5,000 guaranteed in the pool. Low takeout 15%. Gary and I will come back. We're 8 minutes to post. Take a closer look at that sequence. 8 minutes to post to the first of 10 dashes on a wonderful Wednesday night here at Grand River Raceway. You know what that means? It's time to break down the early pick five, the first of our four lengthy multi-leg wagers of the evening. Guaranteed pool $5,000, low takeout 15%. And Gary and I will always give you our suggested wagers for this sequence. And there's mine. Going to end with a single in race number five. So we're going to kind of build off some spreads in the first three races, go down to two in the fourth, and then that single is going to be in the money leg race number five. 1, 3, and 4 here in the opening dash that now obviously gets scratched down to a field of six. Still tricky though, right? It's maiden trotters, 2-year-olds. Who's going to behave themselves? Who's not? Going to stay on their gates are always the main questions. But I was pretty excited about the way the 4 Mega Fabulous qualified right here at the river. Also like the 1 Green Light Go and the 3 Macedonia, who does have a start over this surface already in the Prospect Series. Second to Simi Zoom, who is now going to race at the gold level. So 1, 3, and 4 for me in the opening leg. 2, 4, 5, and 6 in race number 2. Kind of a wide open trotting event, in my opinion. I do like Salzburg Cami kind of getting to face softer here at the river. Lincoln's Landing is dropping down significantly. So I think that there's several options in there, hoping to get a price down and as one of those in race number 2. Race number 3, 5, 7, and 8. Moonwatcher is a horse that I think can beat these with anything close to his best, but he's 1 for 20 this season, kind of tailed off a bit, I think, this year, but still has some decent efforts under his belt in recent starts. 7, Ciba Bourbon got back on the beam with a victory last time out at Hanover. He might be confident coming into this, and one that I think is worth using on the ticket. The 8 PL Quicksand, it can be tough against this group. The problem is the outermost post in the contest. Post 8's kind of been a bit of a nightmare on the pace, and that certainly is not going to help his chances. So 5, 7, and 8 for me in race number 3. 3 and 4 in race number 4. Bold Landing is one that intrigues me. Getting back down in class, hasn't shown all that much as of late, but I think it's good enough to go with these and flex on them. He's on the ticket, but he's 0 for 14 in his career, 0 for 11 this year, 5 on the board finishes. Maybe he can go to the distance this time. He is the most likely pace setter in the race, but I do like the 3 Bold Landing as well. Race number 5, all in on the 3 Radical Legacy. Something interesting of note, though, right back in to go on Saturday in the Dream of Glory eliminations at Hanover Raceway. So if you think that's a good thing, then proceed and maybe fire away signaling that one. If you think that maybe that might not be such a good thing, then maybe you want to look elsewhere. But right back in to go for Radical Legacy on Saturday in the Dream of Glory eliminations at Hanover. $14.40 the cost of my ticket. What do you have for us, Gary Guy?
Well, Robert, and you noticed earlier that I had trouble getting my picks sent to the video department. So maybe I've got the new AI email, and it was scanning through my picks and saying, "Yeah, you don't want to send these. Come on, man. You gotta take a closer look." But I sent them again. I managed to force the email on through, and there they are in race number 1. Well, I have the 3, 1, and 6 because I always put them in the order that I'm handicapping them. So I do have the 3 on top. So I don't have your 4 Mega Fabulous. So already there's a difference. And in race number 2, I have the 1 and 4. What a difference of opinion we have in that one. So those are just my 2, and you have 4 in there, and yet not Smoking Power. So I'm hanging my hat on Dave Frankie Boughton along with Veracruz, of course. And yet, even I should say Veracruz, of course, that's your 4th choice. In race number 3, the 5 and the 7, Moonwatcher and Sip Bourbon. I don't have PL Quicksand. That's only got to do with post 8, just because it's lack of winningness. We clearly see the 4th race differently. I have Timel Contessa and Mass Action, and you have the 3 and 4, so we'll see how that pans out. And then in race number 5, actually, they put this one in backwards. I have Radical Legacy on top with PL Canella. I use the 2 of them, but I always like putting them in the order that my picks are. And but I have one extra one along with your Radical Legacy. $9.60, Robert.
Yeah, $9.60 for Gary's ticket, and so he's not going along with Radical Legacy in the money leg. And I do think PL Quinella is one that's certainly in with a big chance in there. Made that miscue last time, but had been racing well coming into that. Travis Cullen, though, undefeated on Radical Legacy and had success last season over this over our old surface here at the river. There's Conley's ticket. He's going to start with a 3 and end with a 3. And no threes in between. That's kind of interesting. Look at the makeup of the ticket, just because it kind of looks cool on the screen. Macedonia singled here in the opening leg. Don't mind that at all. 4, 5, and 8 in race number 2. So he's got 2 of the horses that I'm using in there. He's added Batinsky, which I think is a good ad, but post 8, I just couldn't get there tonight. 2, 4, 5, and 7 in race number 3. So we're in the same neighborhood in that one. He's added in Malvolio as well as smart thinking on his ticket. Race number 4, the 4 flex on them. Speedster, got to have that one in there tonight, I think. He's also got the 8 Boyd, an interesting one from the barn of Paul Walker, about post 8 to work from that one as well. And he's going to finish off singling Radical Legacy. So kind of starting off logical, ending logical. Some prices in between, though, for Conley. So Conley's got a chance for a nice payout there if he can get a couple of the right ones down in races 2, 3, or 4. $4.80 the cost of Conley's ticket. We're just a couple minutes away until the horse is coming out onto the track for the opening dash. And we're going to start mapping out your winning tickets for this early pick 5 wager. Again, the pool is guaranteed at $5,000 a ticket. It's always low 15%. Gary and I will come back to a few moments, take a closer look at maiden 2-year-old trotters in the opening dash.
Fans, here is a driver change in race number 3. Number 3, Walter, just Walter, Todd Ratchford. Field 4, race number 1 on parade. 1 is a green light go. Blair Burgess drives and trains for James Walker and green light go stable. Number 2, Sunday Shoes. Scott Young for David Fry and Stuart and Patricia Bolander. Number 3 is Macedonia. Travis Henry driving for Dale Fritz and Edward Aitchison. And number 4 is Mega Fabulous. Paul Davies drives and trains and partners in ownership with Nicole Davies. Number 6, T.H. Avery. Anthony Hahn for Luke Blay. And number 8 is Horse Trade, and Mark Etzel drives and trains for Terry DeVos and Mark Sherris in ownership. It's a field of 6 for race number 1. Let's get a look at this field, and right away your top one currently sitting at 10-1. just not getting any respect right now, Rob. And, well, one that deserves some respect because Paul Davies certainly is a capable one and qualified right here at Grand River. And we've seen in the past that seems to be an important factor for first time starters here having a trip over this track.
Yeah, I think it certainly helps when they already have a trip over this track area, and I thought it was just kind of a, an easy go of it for Mega Fabulous. Didn't really see too much urging. It was just 202, obviously, but you look up and down the page, and it's not like that puts Mega Fabulous out of it against this group by any stretch of the imagination. Ninth full out of Lady Kane. $14,000 purchase. All siblings were kind of camera shy. They've got many of them got victories, but very low percentage winners. But I thought this one kind of just kind of caught my eye, in the qualifier, and I thought might be a bit of value. But that was with a 9-horse field down to 6. I thought we might see a little more support for Mega Fabulous, sitting at 10-1 right now. Might not hold come post time, but I think sitting with a big chance.
Number 3, Macedonia, my top choice, and certainly one that you got to respect in here. Had a qualifier here as well as Mohawk, and a start here that was okay.
Yeah, it was. It was a good one, I thought. And this is a full brother to both Mascara and Mass Hysteria. $360,000 in earnings for that one. So I just think Macedonia's got that edge of already having that pari-mutuel start. Kind of deceiving because got beat by a wide margin, but Simi Zoom is now entered into gold level, right? And that one was just a rock solid winner on that occasion. So no shame in finishing second to that one. And I kind of thought there was a little left in the tank as well. Just couldn't get to the winner at any point, really. So even money, bit of an overbet. But I understand the support for Macedonia. I think that it looks like the most logical winner out of the group. I just decided to go in the direction of value, and we're getting that right now with Mega Fabulous.
Number 1, Green Light Go, did blast, got the word go in the qualifier to the front, and now gets the inside, Blair Burgess. So maybe Green Light Go is one that should have some solid go here. 3-1.
Yeah, I think this one's intriguing. First full to Salisbury Hill, 4 for 20, 136,000 made for that mare, $22,000 yearling purchase, and in that qualifier, the most recent one, I like when they go to the front, even if they don't hang on. If they fade late in the mile, I like when horses kind of chop it out, especially youngsters, because it obviously gives them that experience of doing that. And this one was kind of on an easy lead for much of the mile in his most recent morning prep. Got beat by just over 3 lengths. Was under some urging in the stretch, but I thought it was certainly good enough to warrant respect against this group. And I think the price is right at 3-1. I thought 2-1 might be short, obviously in the morning line, but I think 3-1, maybe 7-2. That's the right neighborhood for Green Light Go.
And then we've got to get to T.H. Avery, and this is one that I did include in the pick 5, just for a couple of small reasons. $165,000 yearling. And, the qualifier is only 2, 5, and 4, but after the 34-second opening quarter, the rest is okay. Big barn.
Yeah, big barn. That obviously isn't shy with their yearlings, right? $165,000 for this one, and first full out of Scorched Romance as well. And watching that qualifier, I mean, it's tough to really gauge it, right? You get beat more than 21 lengths, but never really under much pressure at all. There's going to have to be a significant time drop, obviously, to win in here, but certainly the expectations for this horse should be pretty high just based on pedigree and yearling costs. So I decided to watch this one in regards to like the pick 5 ticket and stuff like that. Didn't use this one in the pick 5, but I had to use this horse somewhere because of the connections. But they do typically kind of bring their best second or third start. So I'll watch T.H. Avery today. But maybe one for next time. But hey, 8-1, you might want to get ahead of the curve tonight at a better price.
And Mega Fabulous, your top pick at 8-1 would be a great one to kick off the pick 5. I'm on the favorite, Macedonia, even money. Green Light goes, Sunday Shoes to the inside, Macedonia. Mega Fabulous to the outside, T.H. Avery, and Horse Trading. It's a field of 6, the first dash. First race on a wonderful Wednesday night at the river. They're into the backstretch. Field for the first race. is at the start of the rough. Mega Fabulous is going to blast out with Sunday Shoes and T.H. Avery. Now Green Light Go on the inside is going to go on through and take second, Macedonia third. Then T.H. Avery. Now Mega Fabulous is relaxed back and is now racing second from last, and Horse Trading is trailing. Sunday Shoes had the lead, but Macedonia now wants to drive on the outside. Macedonia, 3-5 favorite, is going to drive up and clear to the front of her. Sunday Shoes. Green Light Go is third. Then it is T.H. Avery, Mega Fabulous, and Horse Trading. Six in a line as they race off a quarter of 30 seconds and head on towards us. Macedonia with the lead. Sunday Shoes is racing second. Green Light Go is already going to go to the outside first over. T.H. Avery will stay on the inside right now. And then it is back to Horse Trading. Mega Fabulous has a problem, is way back trailing the field as they work their way on up towards the half, and Macedonia is leading it on the outside. Green Light Go. Macedonia, Green Light Go. Sunday Shoes is racing on the inside third, and T.H. Avery and Horse Trading. And it is Macedonia, Green Light Go as they work their way on towards three quarters. Now Green Light Go is getting a little closer to Macedonia. Off that half of 1-1-1. Now those two share the front. On the inside third, Sunday Shoes, and gap of about a length and a half, and T.H. Avery fourth, and then Horse Trading. Macedonia continues on. Macedonia, Green Light Go. Sunday Shoes on the inside, and T.H. Avery is still on the pylons racing fourth, and then Horse Trading. But it is Macedonia as the field is turning for home. Sunday Shoes is getting up a little bit closer. Up three quarters, 130 and 4 off stride when Horse Trading. And it is now Macedonia. Sunday Shoes is going to make a formal challenge on down the center of the track. Macedonia game though. Macedonia, Sunday Shoes is getting a little closer. Macedonia holds off Sunday Shoes, and T.H. Avery, then Green Light Go. Macedonia 2-1 and 4, 3-5 on the board. Heavily backed, had a little bit of work to do in the stretch drive, but did manage to get the job done, Robert.
Yeah, I did rebuff the challenge, and I'm sure many of the the pick five players, the favorite players alike, were a little bit worried there as Sunday Shoes kind of kept inching in to the wire. Macedonia too. I mean, it took some pressure right from Green Light Go on the outside, and I thought it was a good effort and victory. Right, you face a challenge, in the middle stages, and then you got to take on the pocket sitter who gets an absolute perfect trip in behind. Who goes on the attack in the stretch, and you're fending that one off. So that start over this service certainly seemed to help him tonight. And he holds on by diminishing margin, but holds on nonetheless as the odds-on favorite.
And no luck with your pick. Mega Fabulous makes a break in stride, so it'll have to be wait till next time.
Yeah, I'll just have to keep my eye on that one. Like I said, I like the way that he qualified. Figured he'd be value. Makes that miscue tonight. But again, we know, Gary, I get really excited about 2-year-old races, but the degree of difficulty obviously goes up dramatically when it's a lot of 2-year-olds making their first lifetime start or second lifetime start on the trot. And we usually learn more about them as they get one or two under their belt. So I'll keep an eye out for Mega Fabulous next time. But Sunday Shoes, obviously a big class drop from a grassroots event to non-winners of one here at the River. Nice effort from that one. Great steer by Scott Young to be second. And T.H. Avery, just kind of a decent third. At 9-1 certainly helps the value underneath in the exact and the trifecta with a couple of price horses there. But typically that barn gets better second or third starts. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well.
Yeah, T.H. Avery was more conservative, as you mentioned. That's the pattern. And, the other thing with this race, you really don't want a 3-5 trotter because, it's more wide open than the odds.
It usually is, yeah, because there's trotters, youngsters can make mistakes out there, and in that race there was quite a bit of action too, right, throughout. So that might lend itself for a favorite getting beat. Didn't happen this time around. Even Green Light Go, right, first over a long way. I mean, that gives the horse a real good education. So that was the one that might take a big step forward second start as well.
Back in front of us, the winner of race number 1, it's number 3, Macedonia, 2-year-old muscle mass bake, held up by Dale Fritz and Edward Aitchison. Dale Fritz, the trainer. Travis Henry's the winning driver. Macedonia, 2-1 and 4, gets his first career win. First race payouts 3, Macedonia, 320, 260, and 232. Sunday shoes, $5.70 and $3, and 68 Shavery, $4.50. $2 exact or $18. Dollar try, $44.30. Dollar super, $109.55. The first race, so her finish from the top is a 4-2-1 DNF scratch 3 scratch 5 scratch. That's 4-2-1 DNF scratch 3 scratch 5. Second dash up next. Post time in 5.
Macedonia converts as a hefty favorite in the opening dash of the evening, keeping likely many pick 5 tickets alive. Whether you're still kicking or not, though, you want to jump in on that early pick 4 starting right here in race number 2. Guaranteed pool, $2,500, low takeout, 15%. And I don't stray too far from my pick 5 wager. Usually you will have the same numbers in this sequence going forward that I do have in that pick 5. And right here in the opening leg, we're going to go with the 2, 4, 5, and 6. I think this race is kind of a wide open trotting event. There's some intriguing plays here. One of which even Royal Candace, it's at 18-1 right now. Nice start last time with a long way in the lead before just getting picked up in the final strides at 75-1. Might see similar tactics tonight from that one. So I wanted to kind of go deep here. 2, 4, 5, and 6. Favoritism right now is with the 2 Lincoln's Landing. That might change come post time, but those are the 4 that I'm using in this field of 9, 5, 7, and 8 in race number 3. I like Moon Watcher's chances with the right kind of trip, but also like Sip of Bourbon and Peel Quicksand, but they both have to deal with post 7 and 8 towards the outside of the gate. Race number 4, just the 3 and 4, Bold Landing and Flex on them. Obviously, Flex on them will likely be the early speed and let it go a long way on the engine again. It's just a question of can he fend them off this time out. He's not been able to do so in his last few efforts here at the river, but tonight might be the night. I like Bold Landing's chances. I think he might be opportunistic in there and get past flexing them in the final strides. And then in race number 5, singling the 3, Radical Legacy. This horse has done very well here in Elora, is undefeated with Travis Cullen aboard. And will be headed to the Dream of Glory elimination on Saturday at Hanover. I couldn't look past that one. It's a race where, maybe you want to go price searching, knowing that the horse is coming right back on Saturday in that elimination. But I just think that, will likely be on the engine again and be tough to catch. She's been fantastic when, she races here in Elora and has been winning at a high clip. Obviously, throughout her career, 5 or 7 last year, 2 for 8 this year, but 5 on the board finishes in those 8 efforts this season. $4.80 for a 20-cent ticket is the cost of my ticket. We'll get a look at Conley's ticket. Gary Conley and I all kind of see things a little bit differently in this sequence here. 4, 5, and 8 for Conley in race number 2. So he does have Vera Cruz, Salzburg, Cami, and Batinsky on his ticket. So he's added in Batinsky. 2, 4, 5, and 7 in race number 3. And then 4, 8 in race number 4. So he's got flex on them, but he's also using Boyden from that outermost post in the contest. That's the only reason why I kind of just stayed away from Boyden. I think he's got ability, just that post might be tricky. And he's also singled to the 3, Radical Legacy. And race number 5, $4.80 for his ticket as well. And we're both all in on Radical Legacy in the money leg. Just a minute away, though, if you to map out your winning wagers in this early pick 4 sequence, starting right here in race number 2. Guaranteed pool, $2,500. Low takeout, 15%. Gary and I'll be back in just a couple moments to take a closer look at race number 2.
Field for the second race on parade. One smoking power. Dave Frankie Boughton driving for Don Lindsay and Paul Lindsay. Number 2 is Lincoln's Landing. Steve Houdon for Laura Toscani and Gino Toscani. Number 3 is Easter Sunday. Mike Salas drives and trains for Peter Albrecht. And number 4 is Veracruz, Scott Young for Timothy Cherwaco and Gary Green. Number 5 is Salzburg, Gabby Paul McDonnell drives and trains for Haley Curry. Number 6, Royal Candice, George Ketros drives and trains for Titus Jancy. There is a look at number 8, Badinsky, Todd Ratchford for Mary Ratchford and Cynthia Graham. 9 is Lulu's King, Brett McDonough for Yvette Gallant and Ivan Gallant. And we're awaiting the appearance of number 7, Wolfpack Attack. It'll be Scotty Coulter, Joe Shaw, and Bill Shaw. It's a field of 9 on the trot for this second race, and the second leg of the pick 5 starts off the pick 4. Let's get a look at this field, and well, Rob, I did anticipate Salzburg Cami being the favorite, and saw Salzburg Cami up at Georgian Downs. There is a look at 7, Wolfpack Attack. Salzburg Cami is certainly really good last time out. Your top choice, and getting the love at 4 to 5.
Taking support in here. Not sure, we should see odds on right now, back up to 3 to 2. Salzburg Cami was shut out in 5 straight before that victory at Georgian Downs, but did win in Nalmers and won at Mohawk Park before that. So should have her confidence back now. I think she fits in well with this group, and she's a versatile type. Got her on top here, Gary, but going 4 deep, obviously, I'm not too fond of the price at 6 to 5.
Lincoln's Landing is one that's interesting. Only one win in 15, but the reason for him, the last 3 starts have all been decent in their own right.
Yeah, I like the way that he was kind of gamely chasing rivals last time, about 29 to 1, closing the gap on them to finish 4th at long odds. Has been 4th in each of his last 2 and claimed the show spot before that. So has kind of raced, competitively at this level. Now gets a better post to work from, and I think same with a big chance. But the price obviously isn't right now at 2 to 1. I thought he'd be a little bit longer, maybe 5 to 2 or 3 to 1. Maybe that floats up come post time.
Number 6, Royal Candice, one that you used, and at 25 to 1, needed a flat line last time out, and certainly did a lot more than that.
Well, we talked about this one after the race and kind of said this is one we have to watch for next time, because I thought she put in a real nice effort. 28 seconds to the opening quarter. She kind of fended them off right to the wire, getting picked up very late by Arcadia Seelster, who was bet down in that event. This one was 75 to 1. So I'm thinking maybe we see her go towards the lead again, and she's a long bomb price again. We didn't expect that. We thought she'd take more support than 23 to 1 she's at right now.
Yeah, and you do see that one also winning up at Georgian Downs. So her best efforts come on the engine, and so might be blasting from post 6. We'll see if that's possible here. For Veracruz, look, I use this one on top. I like getting on a horse when I think others might get off. Shoe change, aluminum to steel shoes up front. Last race just never looked good.
Yeah, last time out, I agree. We kind of said afterwards, like 75 cents to the dollar wasn't like he was making a move to get into contention, though, when he made that miscue. Maybe the shoeing change is going to help things tonight. Obviously, an opportunity to take back value. If you backed him last time at that short price, you're getting 3 to 1 right now. I couldn't get there higher than 4th. I mean, he might outperform that with anything close to his previous efforts. But for me tonight, just on my ticket and the exotics.
And then 1, Smokin' Power. I've got this one on my pick 5, 11 to 1. Gate speed and an inside post. And, we saw this one win at Georgian 3 races ago, and also raced here pretty credibly June the 12th.
Yeah, the effort June the 12th was pretty decent, finishing third to Capulet, who I thought raced fantastic on that occasion. Smokin' Power then got that victory at Georgian, as you mentioned, Gary. The last 2 stepped up in class, but, kind of getting acclimated to that level of competition. You know what? The one thing, I may have overlooked this one, because I always say that inside and tactical speed are combinations you don't want to avoid here at the River. Well, this one has both of those going for him. So we might see him try to go as far as he can in the lead, or maybe sit a 2-hole trip. 13 to 1, certainly getting value right now in the 1, Smokin' Power.
It would be a nice one to land onto the pick 5 with Dave Frankie Boughton and Smokin' Power. Taking up their position, Smokin' Power, Lincoln's Landing, and Easter Sunday. In the center, Veracruz and Salzburg Cami to the outside. Royal Candice, Wolfpack Attack, and Badinsky. And the second tier, Lulu's King. Easter Sunday right now is on the hop. It's a field of 9 for the second dash. Easter Sunday is still off stride. And the field for race number 2 is at the start, and they're off, and Royal Candace, and also pressing out Lincoln's Landing, Smokin' Power, and Padinsky. Right now, Lincoln's Landing is able to land the front spot. Royal Candace still pressuring on the outside, and Smokin' Power is going to move up and fill the pocket and shut out Royal Candace, who has to take back. And then it is further back to Padinsky, who's on the inside. And now it is Royal Candace who finds a spot on the inside third. Padinsky's racing fourth, and then it is back to Veracruz and Salzburg Camby, and then Lulu's King, and trailing is Wolfpack Attack, and off stride went Easter Sunday. It's Lincoln's Landing and Steve Houdon who's got the lead and looks sharp on top with a lead of about 2.5 or 3. Smokin' Power is trotting along, racing position second. Royal Candace third. Then racing positioned fourth right now is Badinsky, and then Veracruz is fifth, but is off the lead of Lincoln's Landing by about 10 lengths right now. Then back further, Lulu's King, and then it is back further to Wolfpack Attack, and way back, Salzburg Camby. It is Lincoln's Landing who's got the lead. Smokin' Power trying to move up and close that gap. The half was a sharp 56-4. Lincoln's Landing, Smokin' Power. Here comes Veracruz now bursting onto the scene, and Veracruz is coming with authority and is moving alongside Smokin' Power and quickly grabs second and is dead aim on Lincoln's Landing. It is Lincoln's Landing, Veracruz, Smokin' Power, then Padinsky and Royal Candace, and Veracruz on the outside now has got dead aim on Lincoln's Landing. 3/4 126-2. Veracruz and Lincoln's Landing, and they turn on down the stretch ride, and Veracruz is able to cruise on the outside and cruise over Lincoln's Landing and just coast to the finish. Veracruz cruises on by at the finish to win it. Then Lincoln's Landing, Padinsky, and Wolfpack Attack. 157-1. Veracruz, the old Veracruz that you fell in love with, Robert, is back.
I know. I guess I should have stayed in love with Veracruz, because this is one that I was very fond of for several efforts. And listen, looking much better tonight, right? Last time out, made that break in stride, didn't really tighten up, with his rivals either before doing that last time out. Shoe change tonight. Looks like a different horse, like the horse that we saw earlier on, 57-1 as well, Gary. So that shaves more than a second off his lifetime mark. And I thought Lincoln's Landing might be gone on them. I really did. I thought he raced really well, all things considered. Just couldn't fend off Veracruz and got a little leg weary late after setting pretty legit fractions.
Yeah, I placed my faith in Timothy Cherwayko, and I made the shoe change, see how that would work out. But, remember, we saw Veracruz here before, and I said, I want to go to just assume that they're going to get this thing straightened out.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I always talk about, too, taking back value. It's always something that is worth looking at, because when you look at this horse, last time about 75 cents to the dollar, this time 7 to 5. I mean, if you're a believer in the horse, it's a good opportunity to kind of get a better number. Like you said, you like to try to get on them when people get off them. Well, you still got bets tonight, but a lot of people jumped off that were behind them last time.
We do get a couple of outsiders, 8 Badinsky and 7 Wolfpack Attack. If you're playing that superfecta, you might have a great ticket.
Yeah, and even better, they're both 24-1, but they've got the outside post, right? That's usually the combination you want: long odds, outside numbers, because then people aren't using them blindly right underneath. Usually, they look towards the inside of the gate for that. So, should definitely help the try and the super with Veracruz winning at 7 to 5.
One good thing, Rob, even though you kind of got off Veracruz a bit, not so much so that you left Veracruz off your pick 5.
No, we're still kicking, right? Pretty chalky so far, but we'll see if we can maybe fix that in the next couple of legs.
At least you get to be alive. 4-2-8-7's the top 4. Back in front of us is number 4, Veracruz, a 3-year-old Father Patrick Brown gelding. Oh, but Gary Green and Timothy Cherwayko. Timothy's also the trainer. Scott Young had the answer in the second. Third win for Veracruz in 6 starts this year. Third win lifetime. 157-1. The second race payout for Veracruz, 490, 310, 280. Two Lincoln's Landing, 440, 310, 8 Badinsky, 680. $2 double, 3 and 4, 1150. $2 exactor, 20, $20 try, 56, $15 super, 396.75. And once again, that double, 1150. Second race order finish from the top, 529-176-438. That's 529-176-438. Field for the third on parade. One to Jennifer's credit. Jason Ride for Sean Arnott. Number 2 is Smart Thinking. Scott called for Kim BX. 3, Walter. Just Walter. Todd Ratchford for Carrie LeCain and Mary Christopher. And number 4 is Malvolio. Daryl Thiessen for Michelle Bowen. 5 is Moonwatcher. Dan Miggins drives and trains for Janice Van Nest, and Dan shares in ownership. Number 6, Galterio Hanover. Jay Harris for Justin Whalen and Leslie Crow. Number 7, Sip of Bourbon. Travis Henry for Dale Fritz and Michael Sawyer and Edward Aitchison. And number 8 is PL Quicksand. Brett Madonna from Matt Dupuis. Field of 8, race number 3. Let's get a look at this field. And, well, we both have Moon Watcher on top. And this is one that's flashed a little bit of late. Only one win on the air, but it's beginning to look maybe like the old Moon Watcher might be back.
Yeah, he's always been a hot and cold type, right, Gary? Like a horse that kind of gets hot and then he kind of tails off for a bit. So he had that vet scratch due to sickness back in towards late May, and then obviously he looked like he needed that start when he got away ninth off the gate from the post 7 here. But since then, that's raced pretty well in his last 3, 2 on the board finishes. And last time out, I mean, I like Me Better. I think is one that we certainly back in here, even Control the Gold. So I just think that. He's one that should offer a bit of value right now. 3-1. I think he's probably a shade lower than I'd like to see for a win ticket. But I do think if he brings his best, he's one that can come out on top against this group, despite being just 1 for 20 this season.
Number 8, PL Quicksand, is one that, had a rough trip last time out and backed away. But we've also seen PL Quicksand a little further back before those last few lines with some decent efforts, and also is one that is down in class.
Yeah, he's not winners of 4 last time, Sporty Bob and that those types, and that's a kind of a real deep class right now, right? So now you get back to kind of the bottom condition class here, same level he was at 2 back, and on that occasion, I mean, Century Gigolo, Control of Gold, Don't Poke the Bear, pretty solid rivals, and didn't have much of a chance the way that the trip panned out. Post 8 was the real deterrent for me from putting him on top. I'm shocked right now he's not taking more support. I know we see a lot of action come late and the price might deteriorate quickly, but I think that anything above 5-1's a big overlay on PL Quicksand, even with that outermost post in the contest.
Number 7, Sip of Bourbon's one that I include in the pick 5, my second choice, and your third. You also used this one, and you've been watching Hanover. You watch all the tracks, and Dale Fritz already has a win on the card.
Yeah, I got that big confidence boot last time, right? He was 0 for 8 on the season. Kind of been a camera shy type last couple of years, but kind of got back in a big way. Pole position, right to the lead. Didn't let anyone get near him. It was a decent enough group, but still bottom condition type class there at Hanover. I don't think he's one that you look at and say, well, he's facing significantly tougher this time out. I mean, it's a tougher group pound for pound, but I think the effort certainly is one that matches up well against these. And he's hit the board in 3 of his last 4 as well at Hanover. So post 7. You have to get forwardly placed, I think, to have a chance in here. But a horse that I think can rely on some back class if he's in the thick of it. 2-1's a bit short, in my opinion, though.
Rob, we both thought it was smart to leave the 2 off of our pick 5, but the fans think that wasn't smart thinking.
Well, yeah, he's 9-5 right now. Again, 0 for 19 of the season, right? That's the first thing. Now he's trending in the right direction for trainer Kim BX, and you see all those on the board finishes recently. Most recently, 4 in a row and 3 in a row right here at the River. 3rd place finishes. I just think that's kind of what his ceiling might be in and around this level, because he doesn't have a lot of speed off the switch. He did get away second once at Sarnia back in June, maintained his position to the wire to claim the place spot. I just don't know how it works out for him trip wise tonight as well. I think he's going to have an uphill battle. And if not, then he might get used a little bit too hard in the early stages. So 2-1, too short for me. He's on. He's one that I think was worthy of maybe a multi-ticket use, but yeah, again, I couldn't get to the top end of this.
Well, we're both on number 5, Moonwatcher, who is 3-1. The favorites are Smart Thinking and 7, Sip of Bourbon, the 2 and 7, taking up their positions to Jennifer's Credit and Smart Thinking, and Walter, just Walter. In the center, Malvolio, Moonwatcher. The outside, Galterio, Hanover, Sip of Bourbon, and Peel Quicksand. It is a field of 8 for the third dash on a wonderful Wednesday at the river. Horses are gathered in behind the gate. And the field of third race, horses and geldings on the pace, are at the start. And they're off, and down the center of the track, Galterio Hanover sprints out with Sip of Bourbon. Galterio Hanover, Sip of Bourbon. Malvolio, Walter, just Walter, Peel Quicksand. Then to Jennifer's Credit, Moonwatcher, second from last, and Smart Thinking is trailing the field. Sip of Bourbon wants to take a sip on the lead. Galterio Hanover is racing second. Walter, just Walter on the inside. Peel Quicksand is parked fourth and racing fifth. Malvolio. Moonwatcher's already taken to the outside, then to Jennifer's Credit, and Smart Thinking is trailing. Sip of Bourbon and Travis Henry. 26-4 opening quarter. Sip of Bourbon, Galterio ahead of her. Walter, just Walter, third in line, and now Peel Quicksand found his seat on the inside. Now Moonwatcher is working first over. On the inside, Malvolio. Now from the backfield, Smart Thinking is following Moonwatcher, and then on the inside, trailing is to Jennifer's Credit. Off at 26-4, they race their way past a half of 55-4, so a 29-second second panel for Sip of Bourbon. 3-2 on the board and looks strong on top. Leads by 2.5. Galterio Hanover second. Moon Watcher on the outside. We're watching that one get closer and start to move into contention. Now it's come on to take over second. Galterio Hanover is third. And Smart Thinking from last is moved up for fourth. Then Walter, just Walter, kicking it late to Jennifer's Credit. Peel Quicksand and Malvolio. 3/4, 123-3. Sip of Bourbon and Moon Watcher. Smart Thinking has advanced up to third, but is still about 3.25 off the lead, but is closing ground. Then Galterio Hanover to Jennifer's Credit. It is Sip of Bourbon. Moon Watcher. Smart Thinking is moving smartly on down the stretch where they come. Sip of Bourbon and Moon Watcher. Sip of Bourbon, Moon Watcher, and Smart Thinking. Sip of Bourbon holds on. Moon Watcher second. Smart Thinking third. To Jennifer's Credit was fourth. And it was Sip of Bourbon post position 7, Rob, going all the way on top.
Yeah, post 7 didn't matter. Right to the front when he made the lead. Even 26-4, I said, you know what, this horse is one that's certainly, should have his mojo back, right? After getting that win last time out, he's a horse that he has a mark of 52 flat. He's got gears, when he's at top of his game, and he showed them tonight. I mean, set solid tempo throughout. And just fending them all away, right? I mean, Moonwatcher, I thought might get to him because, again, he's kind of been trending in the right direction and looking like, the version of him that we've seen before when he racks up wins, just kind of hung on the outside. I mean, chasing this one gambling to the wire, though, Gary. I mean, doesn't give up, right? That's what I do like about what Moonwatcher did there. He kept fighting right to the wire, but could not get past him at Bourbon, just too sharp.
I'll tell you, halfway around the final turn, I was starting to get a little worried about Smart Thinking.
Yeah, no, I was too. But the thing is, like, I've seen him kind of make that move with authority, and he's a horse that has always been the type that kind of closes, really strongly in the end of his miles. He's done it even at Mohawk Park against, against solid rivals there. I just again, that 0 for 20, right? Now he's 0 for 19. Now he's 0 for 20. He's a horse that hits the ticket a lot. He's been finishing third with incredible frequency. He has 4 in a row now here at the river in the show spot. And that's why I thought he was overbet at 2-1.
Yeah, and absolutely. Even we've seen this evening that you can leave from the outside here if you could get moving off the gate quickly because you can already get over. It's not like you get hung out on the turn.
Yeah, no, it's the old surface, right? You'd be used up so hard. Like the 26-4 over the half would have been obviously much more taxing than it is here, and horses just seem to kind of carry that speed here. And so we saw from Sip of Bourbon tonight, 6-1 in the morning line. So maybe, just maybe, better, a bit more of a knockout than the 3-2 would suggest in the vertical race here.
And back in front of us is that winner of race number 3. It's number 7, Sip of Bourbon, 5-year-old Sunshine Beach Bay, gelding up by Dale Fritz and Michael Sawyer and Edward Aitchison. Dale Fritz, the trainer, training double. Travis Henry, the winning drive. It's the second win for Sip of Bourbon in a row. 7th lifetime mile of 153 and 3. The third race payout, 7 Sip of Bourbon, $5.10, $3 to 45. Moon Watcher, $3.30 to 42. Smart Thinking, $2.10. $2 Exactor, $15.20. Dollar Try, $11.75. Dollar Super, $52.80. Third race, order finish from the top down. So 435-82716. That's 435-82716 in the bottom. Field 4, race number 4 is on parade. One time will contested. Travis Henry from Mark Edsel and Timel Farms. Number 2 is Fitness Class. Sammy Fillion for Bill Budd and Hutt Racing. 3 is Bold Landing. Austin Sorry for Ashley Lenvoy and Gino Toscani. 4 is Flex on Them. Jay Harris for Robert Kyle Fellows, Yolanda Fellows in Windermere Stable, and Edward Wilson. 5 is Don't Talk About Bruno. Brett McDonough for Dominic Ladeau in the stable. Number 6, Mass Action. J.B. Renault for Julie Walker and Wade Bacone. Number 7, Jeannie T. Louis Gregg for Vicky Gregg. 8 is Boyden. Paul Walker drives and trains for Brenda Walker and Christine Walker. 9 is Cadabra Kaboom. Travis Cullen for Jody Cullen and Tammy Aspen and Marie Nielsen. It's a field of 9 for race number 4, a field of maiden trotters. Rob, well, we both felt confident enough to only take 2 in the pick 5 here, even though it is maiden trotters. So let's start with number 3, Bold Landing. 9-1, Ashley Lenvoy, but one that's only got 1 win.
Yeah, just 1 win from 19 tries, Gary. But, numbers of 2 last time at Georgian Downs, obviously a much tougher spot than this. Chopped out the opening 2 panels anyways before fading back to 5th. Before that, numbers of 1 at Mohawk Park. And as you go further down the page, you just see, tougher spots throughout. So obviously not having a lot of successes of late, but the class relief might be the answer. And again, third start now, Ashley Lenvoy, and getting down to a more palatable spot is kind of the angle on this horse here. Thinking that he looks pretty good on the track right now, and the price is certainly right. Would be surprised though to see him take more support at the windows come post time.
Well, number 4, Flex on Them, is one that you also used in your pick 5, and one that is winless, but looks like might be winning sooner rather than later.
Yeah, he's a horse that's kind of sitting on a victory, right? You'd say he's hit the board in 4 of his last 5, just missing in a couple recently after going a long way in the lead. He'll likely be the pace setter again. It's just a matter of if he can get to the wire first. He's going to take support because that's a winning strategy here at the River. But he has been getting picked up at the wire, so I thought maybe Bold Landing could be the opportunistic one tonight.
Number 7, Jeannie T, an outside post, but we already saw post position 7 with the win this evening. And this is one that comes in off of a very fine performance.
Took a lot of air too in that effort to be the winner, and I thought each of her last 2 starts here at the River were fantastic. One making a big recovery after an early break in stride, then last time being first over a long way to get the job done over Flex on Them. Facing that rival again tonight, 8-1 versus 2-1, so value to be had on Jeannie T.
And then Mass Action also is one that I think might be winning sooner rather than later. And Julie Walker's barn has certainly been doing fairly well. This is one that's got 3 runner-up finishes in 5 starts.
Yeah, if you could lock in that price right now, Gary, 30-1, I think we'd certainly be happy to take a flyer on that, because I think Mass Action, been racing pretty well here at the River, had that 1 5th place finish that I was kind of disappointed in the performance, came right back with a solid runner-up finish to Fastest Lightning last time, and is sitting at 25-1 down from 30-1. But anything above double digits, like 10-1, I think is value on Mass Action. He's in with a chance. I didn't use him in the multi-leg wagers, but I do think he's one that can get the job done under the right trip circumstance.
I used him on my pick 5, but I can't believe that he's that high in the pick 5, because that last race was really great.
It was, yeah. No, I thought it was a big step back in the right direction. And you see 3 runner-up finishes in his last 4. Just kind of ignore the one clunker, June 26th. And he was off a bit of time, too, in his latest. So coming right back on that regular rotation, he has every right to be better. But I guess it's just so many horses that are kind of taking support in this race that he gets overlooked right now.
I went to one Timel Contessa on top. Mark Edsel, one that had missed about almost like 4 weeks, 3.5 weeks before that last start, now comes back a little tighter. I could make an excuse for this one, and you do see those 3 runner-up finishes.
Yeah, and I get the angle on Tomo Contessa. I mean, obviously Mark Getzel, I've got the utmost faith in him, especially on with trotters. Last time though, I just wanted to see more fight. Right, we saw a real big long shot, just kind of move her without much resistance, and then she faded back to sixth at odds of 7-2. Now she does have every right to kind of come back with a better effort. She got the pole position this time around, and she comes back on that regular schedule after missing a bit of time. I just kind of wanted to see her one more time tonight before I got onto her bandwagon because I thought last time, she could have finished a little stronger than that 31-4 in the end of her mile.
I wanted to get on while others might get off because Mark Hetzel's done me well a lot of times backing him. Time will contest it with position with fitness class and bold landing in the center. Flex on them. Don't talk about Bruno to the outside. Mass action, GDT and Boyden. And the second tier, Cadabra Kaboom. It's a field of 9. The fourth dash. And the field for race number 4, gathering speed, approaching the start. They're at the start of the rough. Bold landing is going to blast with flex on them, and Timel Contessa on the inside is going to stride out and race into the front 3. Then racing fourth, don't talk about Bruno. Then fitness class and Genie T in mass action. Cadabra Kaboom and Boyden's trailing the field, and it is flex on them who made the front. Bold landings racing second. Don't talk about Bruno is still pressing on the outside, and Timel Contessa on the inside fourth. Genie T is fifth, and fitness class is sixth. Mass action is working on the outside now as they race their way off the turn, and they work their way on towards us, and then off stride right now is Boyden. Now racing second from last is Cadabra Kaboom, and it is Don't Talk About Bruno who cleared to the front of her flex on them. Genie T is traveling to the outside, and as they work on their way towards the half off that 28-4 opening quarter, bold landing is on the inside, shuffled back to fourth, and now moves back out, and Tommel contests is fifth, and now mass action is kicked into gear, and then it's back to fitness class and Cadabra Kaboom. On down the backstretch they go. And it is Don't Talk About Bruno, 9-2 on the board. 58-1 halftime. Don't Talk About Bruno. Genie T, flex on them. Then racing fourth is on the outside, in the center of the track is Bold Landing because 3 wide goes mass action on the inside. Tommel Contest is blocked, and then Cadabra Kaboom and fitness class. And it is Don't Talk About Bruno and Genie T. Then flex on them and mass action fourth, and on the inside Tommel Contessa scooting along the pylons, but it is Don't Talk About Bruno as they turn for home. Don't Talk About Bruno and Brett McDonald. Genie T, flex on them on down the stretch, driving Tommel Contessa fourth, and then mass action. But it is Don't Talk About Bruno as they come to the finish under wraps. Don't Talk About Bruno. Flex on them is going to finish second. Then it was Genie T and Boyden. But it is Don't Talk About Bruno. Rob, we can throw our pick 5 tickets on the floor, but Don't Talk About Bruno. 9-2 on the board. Certainly was a very credible winner.
Yeah, he was. And we didn't talk about Bruno, so it's kind of a fitting name for this one. But in the end, you said it under wraps. Much the best winner, Gary. Coming into this off breaks and stride in 2 of his last 3. Took a lot of support, though, throughout the betting. I kind of kept looking at the top board thinking, who is this? This kind of keeps going down to favoritism and then bouncing back up on the odds board. Well, it was Don't Talk About Bruno, and ends up, I think, going off at 9-2. But you could see when he made the lead, it was kind of a no-doubter at that point. Just looked strong, and the others just didn't have the goods to go with them. So Don't Talk About Bruno, 15-1 morning line. Less than that, obviously, on the top board. But you know what? I think he's probably every bit of that in the pick 5 and the pick 4.
Well, after it not getting Don't Talk About Bruno the win, your next 3 after that are the 4, 7, and 6. You had the second and third and fourth picked correctly. Just, but flex on them, we said, is one that's going to win sooner than later, and another second place finish.
Another second place finish, and he had to go with different tactics tonight, right? A little bit too much heat in the early stages for that one. But kind of showed some versatility, right? Coming back on for the place spot, I thought he's the kind of horse that, maybe doesn't like to pass horses. He needs to kind of try to fend them off to get the job done. But he showed another layer to his game tonight, and he still remains winless. I think we'll see him get to the winner's circle sooner than later. And Genie T, I mean, this is a horse that I think's been racing really well here at the river, and I think we'll see some more of her. And I think she might get back to the winner's circle soon enough here as well.
And then Mass Action at 14-1. Never saw the inside, but at least gets onto the ticket.
Yeah, and I think another one too, kind of a little bit late to the gate as well. One that we'll keep an eye on for next time. Maybe you need to draw a little more inside to get the job done with that one.
Back in front of us is number 5. Don't talk about Bruno, a 3-year-old alarm detector bay gelding owned by the stable, trained by Dominic Ladew. Brett McDonald's the winning driver. First win this year, second win lifetime. Well, we're talking about the 5-horse here. Don't talk about Bruno, the winner in race number 4. The 4th race, payouts 5. Don't talk about Bruno, 1150, 460, 510. 4 flex on them, 320, 277. Genie T, $4, $2 exactor, 5010. Dollar try, 239.50. Dollar super, 963.90. The fourth race, or we finish in the top, 568 214 397. That's 568 214 397 on the bottom. Fans note in race 9, number 2, Stay True, Brett McDonald will drive. Race 9, 2, Stay True, Brett McDonald. Field for the fifth on parade. One, Handsome Hank. J. Harris for Caitlin Graham. And number 2 is PL Canella. Brett McDonough for Matt Dupuis. 3 is Radical Legacy. Travis Sculler for Greg McNair and Ross and Brent Holmes. And number 4, It's a Long Story. Anthony Hahn for Paul Meegans and Saltwater Stable and Storyline Stables. Number 5 is Vimy Bridge Venti. Phil Houdon for Steve Lohran and Paul Mazzetti. Number 6, Twinbee Showman Scott Calder for Bob McIntosh and Martin Stables. Number 7 is Century Isaiah. Ron Waples Jr. drives and trains for Dr. Sheila Atmore. Ron Sherrison ownership. Eight is ZR Norma. Jason Rod for Sarah by Erjean. And 9 is Built to Last. Paul McKenzie drives and trains and owns. Field of 9, race 5. Let's get a look at this field. Well, Rob, throughout the card we've had some difference of opinion, but in this race, everybody's together on the top 2, the 3 and the 2. 3 Radical Legacy, 6-5 on the board.
Yeah, and it's hard to go against Radical Legacy, right? I mean, 7 for 15 in her career so far, 11 on the board finishes. Now, this year, not winning at the same clip, but was facing tougher competition. So it makes sense why she wasn't getting to the winner circle as often as she was last year, going 5 for 7. And she took down the Prospect Series final right here at Grand River. Travis Cullen was aboard on that occasion. He's a perfect 4 for 4 on this filly. And she does have an engagement on Saturday at Hanover in the elimination for the Dream of Glory. So that's kind of an interesting twist to this race tonight. But I do think she's the best in here. And if she does get to the lead from post field, like I think she will, she'll be tough to beat.
Yeah, and to look strong connections at Greg McNair. Radical Legacy is probably going to, if anything, go down or at least hold at even money. Number 2, PL Canella, is certainly the fans' choice right now, 5-2 for the second choice.
Yeah, and I think the one that makes sense underneath, obviously, right, Gary? I mean, this is a horse that last time out was kind of moving well, first over before making that miscue in the late stages. Now, I don't think she was going to, get a Radical Legacy and challenge for the victory, but was the favorite on that occasion just by 5 cents. But she got bet down to favoritism over that rival and is just 3 starts away from a nice win where I thought she raced fantastic from the pole position. So tonight it's post 2. And one that obviously, if he goes out and minds his manners, he can certainly be the main danger to Radical Legacy. I think 5-2 is about the right price right now. It's kind of where I figure it would be, around odds on for Radical Legacy, and 5-2 for PL Quinella.
And he had been racing consistently well with some ones that we like in here, Wolanak and others. Certainly looked good a number of times. Needs to stay flat. Number 6, Twinbee Showman's open to side rolls. Look, this is one that Bob McIntosh sends out that's very win shy, just 1 win in 24. But at least the last couple, you've seen some signs of things. That won 2 races ago, making that early break and then coming on to finish second. That was an eye-opener.
It gets much easier, but I still remember, he made that break and kind of looked like he was going to be out of it, not able to get any piece of it at all. Huge recovery to be second at a race top by Olivia's Gold Nugget, and then last time out back up to this level, taken back to 8th off the gate from post 7, ends up being a decent 5th. Has now missed a few weeks between starts, does move in a spot on the gates. Kind of an intriguing one in here. I can't put him ahead of our top 2 just because they're the most consistent, and I think they're probably a notch above him right now, but I do think he's one you have to use underneath in the high 5.
I used ER Norma on my top 4 and add you post 8, but, well, gets a venue change. Unfortunately, we got to see those in here just once. Made a break in that start.
Yeah, I made a break in that start and was never able to really get into the race and strut her stuff. I think she's more than good enough to be competitive against this group for at least a spot on the bottom end of the exotics with the right kind of journey. But obviously, post eight makes it a little bit tricky. Last time made that miscue after starting with post three, but was taken back off the gate on that dash as well. So 21-1. I think you have to have her underneath in the high five. I think she fits with this group, but I think she might have an uphill battle.
I think we might be falling asleep on is Handsome Hank.
Yeah, you know what, he's one that's got tactical speed, right? So, and we know that the pole position lands in the high five so often. So I do think that maybe we're selling that one short in here. I just don't know if he can kind of go with our top two, but maybe underneath in the exotics you don't want to leave him out because again, inside draw, early foot, and a combination you don't want to avoid here at the river.
It's Handsome Hank, Pio Canella, Radical Legacy on the inside. In the center, it's a long story in Vimy Ridge Venti. On the outside, Twin Beast Showman, Century Isaiah, ER Norma. And the second tier, Built to Last. It is a field of 9 for race number 5. And the field for the 5th race is at the start. Twin Beast Showmans makes a little bobble and drops back just about a length and a half. Now he's off stride. And now Handsome Hank on the inside is able to time the gate. Century Isaiah, Radical Legacy. Pio Canella's 4th away. Then it's ER Norma, Built to Last, and It's a Long Story. Vimy Ridge Venti and Twin Beast Showmans is back trailing the field. And now Radical Legacy is going to come on and take the lead. Handsome Hank is right there racing along in the pocket. Century Isaiah 3rd. Then ER Norma, Pio Canella is racing on the inside. And 6th is Built to Last. And then it is back further to It's a Long Story. Then racing second from last along on the inside as they come on towards us is Vimy Ridge Venti into the outside. Twin Beast Showman's track to make a huge recovery. Radical Legacy off a 28-1 opening quarter. Heads up towards the half. And Handsome Hank at 14-1 is enjoying the view in the pocket. Century Isaiah is racing third. And then 4th along to the inside is ER Norma as they work their way into the backstretch. Pio Canella now working first over 5th, and now is able to come on and take over 4th. Then further back, now on the outside 6th, It's a Long Story. Then Built to Last, and back to Twin Beast Showmans and Vimy Ridge Venti, half of 58-2. And now Pio Canella is closing hard on Radical Legacy. Radical Legacy, Pio Canella bursting onto the scene. Handsome Hank is 3rd, and Century Isaiah. Then it is ER Norma. It's a Long Story. Back to Built to Last and Twin Beast Showmatch and Vimy Ridge Venti, but it is Radical Legacy who still looks very sharp on the lead. Pio Canella 2nd. Handsome Hank on the inside took the short way round the turn over Century Isaiah in the 2-wide lane. 3/4, 127-4. And Radical Legacy is alone as they come on down the lane. Radical Legacy getting a little tired at the finish. Pio Canella, Radical Legacy, and Pio Canella. Radical Legacy held off Pio Canella, came flying late to make it close, and then Handsome Hank and ER Norma 157-3, and it was Radical Legacy, but you had to hold on just a touch there at the end, Rob.
We're on the end of it. Also, Pio Canella kind of coming on again as well. We've seen that one kind of do that on the end of his miles in the past, but Radical Legacy obviously. Now another victory with Travis Cullen aboard and here in Elora. Does good things here at Grand River, Gary, and does it again tonight. And no surprise, right? Getting hammered right down on the odds board, down to 3-5. Pretty logical too. You get the two favorites kind of battling it out late. And even in these multi-leg wagers, they were both the two heavily supported, but $132 for a 20-cent ticket with 4 favorites coming in. I think that just kind of shows us even further that Don't Talk About Bruno was a much bigger price than the pick 5.
Absolutely. It does come in, at least I think, formful, because that's my superfecta 3-2-1-8. And Handsome Hank, I said we needed to talk a little bit more about. Handsome Hank was able to get out from post 1.
Yeah, and that's the key, right? And you know what, you can never ignore inside speed here. I mean, it was kind of what we always like to get behind. here at the river over the half-mile surface, and it's kind of continued with the success over the 5/8 as well. We've seen horses in the pole position have a lot of success, and obviously that early foot just puts them in the right position early on. And Handsome Hank stuck around for third. Again, I didn't think he could go with our top two selections. They were a wide margin ahead of him, but does round out the trifecta at 14-1.
The thing with PL Canella, if he just had a little more gate speed, because he's got a lot of work to do, but he looks really racy.
Yeah, and I think too that final turn. I mean, maybe he doesn't like that final turn a lot much because he kind of gapped it a little bit before coming on again at the top of the stretch. But again, he's been the most consistent performer in this class, right? I mean, maybe not high on the win end of it, but certainly has been knocking at the door many occasions. And if he gets away from Radical Legacy next time out, I think he might end up back in the winner's circle.
Back in front of us in that winner's circle is number 3, Radical Legacy, 3-year-old Muscle Mass Bay filly, owned by Ross and Brent Holmes, trained by Greg McNair. Travis Cullen, the winning driver. Third win this year, 8th lifetime for Radical Legacy. And out trackside, we have the TD Agriculture Group. Thanks to TD Bank Agriculture team for coming out this evening at the racetrack. The 5th race, payout 3, Radical Legacy, 330, 210, 210, 2 PL Canella, 260, 210, 1 Handsome Hank, 260, $2 exactor, 520, dollar try, 835, dollar pick 3, $79. Dollar win for 321.80, dollar pick 5, 661.60. And the dollar high five, 447.25. Fifth race, order finish from the top, 321 897 546. That's 321 897 546 on the bottom.
Radical Legacy doubling up here at the river in race number 5. Did get the job done as our pick 4 and pick 5 single, but we didn't make it to that leg. So congrats if you did cash that ticket. Paid pretty well, all things considered. Now, good luck to Radical Legacy and her connections in their elimination for the Dream of Glory at Hanover on Saturday. Moving on now to the late pick 5, starting right here in race number 6. Same low takeout of 15%. And this is my spot play of the evening right here in race number 6, number 7, Anukshuk Sally. I watched the replay several times on this one, and I'm thinking that she would have fared much better. She had some room in the stretch last time out, had the trailing post and non-winners of 2, got away 5th off the gate. Appeared to have lots in the tank in the stretch drive, nowhere to go. Was it within 2 lengths of the win and now moves to the condition claiming ranks. Much softer spot. She has speed off the gate, love her chances even from that post 7, but she's getting hammered right now at 6-5. I think that price comes up come post time, but she's going to be my single right here in race number 6. We're going to go single to start it off. The 9 mass money. Tricky trailing post for that one in race number 7, but still going to go alone with her. She was a easy winner last time in this class, and she's done nothing wrong this season with 8 top 2 finishes and as many starts. So we're going to go single to start off the late pick 5, 2, 3, 5, and 8 in race number 8. Like George of the Jungle to maybe be closer this time out and get the job done. But also using the 2 Royal Beluga, 5 Gaelic Piper, and Eye of an Eagle, who's actually one that I think has a big chance in there and maybe at a pretty good price. Last time raced much better than the line indicates. Probably get a chance to take back value from that tricky outermost post in the contest. All in race number 9 with Ladysmith out of it. Kind of a wide open event. Going to use all 5 of them there. Race number 10, the 1, 5, and 8 Mystery Deal. Race deceptively good in that OSS Gold midseason constellation last time. Gets the pole position. We'll have to mind his manners. I got the 5 Radcliffe as well, and the 8 Ancient Wall. Hopefully, maybe can double up off that last victory here in the same class. Now in for a price tag this time out, $12 for a 20-cent ticket is the way that I see it. Let's see what Conley's got in store for us. Now, this is an interesting sequence. I think there's some opportunities for it to pay. Totally different single for Conley. He's going to the 2 Porch Pirate. That's a logical one. The one that I thought would take the support after winning last time, kind of gamely holding off. Can't catch Kenzie last time out. 2, 4, 6, and 9 in race number 7. So spreading out in that kind of wide open looking trotting event. 3, 5, and 8 in race number 8. We're on the same page in that one for sure. 4 and 6 in race 9. I like Duchess of Brant in there. Maybe some press tickets on that one. He's also using Fashion Forward. And then in race 10, the 3 and 7. He's got Donna Hanover and Muscle Detector. So we have no common horses in the finale race number 10. $9.60 is the way that Conley sees this late pick 5 starting right here in race 6. We got a minute or so to map out your winning wagers for this sequence. Gary and I will come back just a moment or two to take a closer look at race number 6.
Field 4, race number 6 on parade. One worth repeating. Brett McDonough for Duncan Gillis. Number 2 is Porch Pirate. Travis Henry for John Pentland and VMB Stable. Number 3 is Full of Personalities. Sammy Fillion for Ashley Lenvoy and Gino Toscani. Number 4 is Can't Catch Kenzie. Jay Harris for Mike Whitnioski and Tara Isman and Garrett Isman. 5 is Nasty Reputation. Gary Rive tries and trains for Ashley and Matthew Rive Bohanec. Number 6, All Smoke and Mirrors. Rhonda Ross for James Wellwood and Jeffrey Wellwood. Number 7, Inukshuk Sally. Lauren House for Jason Libby and Lori Keeling and Timothy Flynn. Jason shares in ownership. And the parade is Perfect Juno. Daryl Thiessen for Ken Skinner and Bernard Murphy. Field of 8, race number 6. Let's get a look at this field. And, we're going to start with number 7, Inukshuk Sally. And I didn't know what to do with Inukshuk Sally, but you did use this one on top. Love Jason Libby's barn, but there's also some question marks on the 7 horse here.
Yeah, well, she's a single for me in the pick 5 Gary spot play. One of my plays of the night. Best bet was unfortunately bet down to 3 to 5 in race number 5. This is now the spot play for me and Nukshuk Sally, and hoping for a better price than that 2 to 1 right now. But last time out, non-winners of 2, got away 5th off the gate. Had all kinds of pace in the late stages. Looked like a snake in the stretch, going inside, outside, looking for room. Ended up finishing 6th at 49 to 1, but was within 2 lengths of the winner. And you know what? Before that, we're going to just kind of look past that, obviously getting the vets list at Hanover, and then that start where she stopped here at Grand River. She took all kinds of support in a tougher spot than this, and had to go pretty taxing fractions early before slowing up to finish 6th. Back-to-back victories before that, her first 2 starts for Jason Libby, and now I think she's back on the right track after her latest. And I love this transition. Non-winners of 2 to a condition claimer. It's a much softer spot, and she's got lots of early foot. Post 7 doesn't concern me for that. I'm really liking her chances here, but so is everyone else right now, apparently, at 8 to 5.
The one you have to think is the main threat to her, though, is Porch Pirate, I would assume.
Yeah, Porch Pirate. I mean, now the thing is, going into this, I'm thinking Porch Pirate's going to take all the support in here. She was a winner last time, second before that, kind of a game winner in her latest, holding off Can't Catch Kenzie. So part of it is, spot play for me is looking at a horse that's getting to a spot where I think, she's going to do much better and maybe a little bit easier for her. But also kind of looking for one where I can maybe play against one like Porch Pirate, who's going to, take all the money on the board, but she's not doing that right now. She's 3 to 1. I think she's been racing well as of late, but just held on by a head in her last time out at 35 cents to the dollar. So I think the money will come for her late. Wouldn't be surprised if she still ends up as the favorite in here. And yes, she's the one to beat.
Number 4, Can't Catch Kenzie. Can be a little bit in and out at times, but last race was definitely in.
Yeah, she was, and she does good things when she gets those favorable trips, right? That's how she won June the 10th. She sat a 2-hole trip, came up the inside late to win by a nose at 26 to 1. And then since then, she's had a few journeys that didn't work out. And then last time went right back to that 2-hole trip behind Porch Pirate, and I thought she was going by. Head of the stretch, I thought she was a winner. She got rebuffed, in the final steps. But was a good second. I think that she probably tries to sit a similar journey tonight. It's going to be interesting to see what Inukshuk Sally does to the makeup of this race in the early stages, because she does have a lot of tactical speed, and she's shown it here in the past. So I think if the game plan is to go forward with her, she can do that. And I'm hoping that's the case, because I'm all in on her. So Can't Catch Kenzie, though, when you have to have in the exotics.
I almost used Full of Personality on top. I think she's the sleeper in here today from this post off that last race.
I thought she raced well last time. Yeah, post 7, she blasted off the wings of the gates, had the early lead, kind of got shuffled back, and I thought was a good third at 23 to 1. She's been, kind of making it home in this class, and she's hit the board in three of her last five. Now, one for 14 lifetime, but she hits the board with frequency this season, and I think she makes her way somewhere under the ticket. 12 to 1's probably an overlay right now. I thought she would take more support than that, but the problem is that there's only so many mouths to feed right on the odds board, and right now there's three of them that are taking the bulk of the support, so she kind of gets overlooked at 11 to 1.
Well, you get Sammy Filion and Ashley Lenvoy, so that's also a strong connections. But right now, Porch Pirate and Can't Catch Kenzie, both at 2 to 1 and 5 to 2 on a Nook Shook Salad. Now 2 to 1. Those three are all sitting at 2 to 1, taking up positions. Worth repeating, Porch Pirate, full of personality on the inside. In the center, Can't Catch Kenzie, nasty reputation. On the outside, all smoke and mirrors, and Nook Shook Sally and Perfect Juno. It's a field of 8, the 6th dash. Field for race number 6, turning into the backstretch, gathering speed, approaching the start. And the field for the 6th race is in position. And at the start of the rough and full of personality, leaving with all smoke and mirrors, and also Can't Catch Kenzie, but it's full of personality, who is full of pace. And then it is Can't Catch Kenzie, worth repeating. Porch Pirates 4th away, all smoke and mirrors. Then it is back to nasty reputation. Nook Shook Sally is racing 7th, and Perfect Juno is 8th. And now Can't Catch Kenzie is able to come on 6 to 5 of the board and grab the lead at 14 to 1. Full of personality is filling up the pocket. Worth repeating is 3rd. Then it is back to Porch Pirate and all smoke and mirrors, and then nasty reputation and Nook Shook Sally and Perfect Juno. Can't Catch Kenzie and Jay Harris has got the lead. Full of personality, rides the pocket. Worth repeating is 3rd. And then Porch Pirate, all smoke and mirrors, nasty reputation, and Nook Shook Sally is already shaking now. On the outset is starting to close rapidly, and then Perfect Juno. It is Can't Catch Kenzie off at 27-2 opening quarter. Heading up towards the half. Can't Catch Kenzie, full of personality. Porch Pirate took out, now to come first up. Worth repeating, and Nook Shook Sally has live cover and is racing 2nd over Fem. Then it is all smoke and mirrors, Perfect Juno, nasty reputation, and it is Can't Catch Kenzie. Porch Pirate on the outside, now is taking over 2nd, full of personality, is still in the pocket. And Nook Shook Sally is right there, well situated, 2nd over. They head up to 3/4 off that 57-2 halftime. 5th on the inside is worth repeating. Then it is Perfect Juno. All smoke and mirrors, nasty reputation is flying from the backfield. 3/4 126-1. Can't Catch Kenzie, the one to catch. Full of personality, has been getting the trip. Porch Pirate and Nook Shook Sally on down the stretch where they come. Can't Catch Kenzie, full of personality up the inside. Can't Catch Kenzie. They can't catch Kenzie and wins. And then it is a Porch Pirate with a Nook Shook Sally and all smoke and mirrors. Can't Catch Kenzie. 155-4. Well, you said Can't Catch Kenzie is often a trip horse. How about a front end trip?
Well, I mean, yeah, the front end, not the way I saw the race panning out, Gary. There's no doubt about that. And obviously, a second quarter breather helps her chances. But no, she was good to go on the engine, right? Absolutely. Second start aboard for Jay Harris. And I love that angle too. But I just had eyes for a different horse in this dash. So this time around, he wants her on the engine. And she makes every call a winning one and does so at 6 to 5. So nice effort from Can't Catch Kenzie. I thought a Nook Shook Sally would be a lot closer. She still got put into a good position, 2nd over, but was closing willingly in the late stages and floated all the way up to 8 to 1. So could have really used her, but we'll keep an eye on her for next time because, again, I think she's a type that might benefit from being more forwardly placed, but still race well from off the pace tonight.
And then full of personality. Looked good for me turning for home, but you've mentioned that they don't seem to fly up that inside passing lane.
No, passing lanes, it's been tricky. We've seen some winners at the passing lane, but I kind of always earmark them for next time. as one to watch for to come right back to, no matter where they end up, because I do think it's been a lot more difficult to win at the passing lane over this surface than it was over the old one. Which I mean I'm kind of fine with, because I've been beaten up the passing lane many times before for big tickets. But Yeah, I thought that full of personality again, though, gets that really good trip, and I think that if she keeps getting forwardly placed like that, she'll have her turn to get to the winner's circle eventually.
All Smoke and Mirrors was my fourth choice at 35 to 1.
Yeah, lands in the bottom of the superfecta at that price. A Porch Pirate too. I mean, decent enough effort tonight. The trip just wasn't going to work out this time around against Can't Catch Kenzie. It's almost like the horse that kind of got the more favorable journey ends up winning it, and that comes down to the steer by Jay Harris. So good job by him to get this one on the blower tonight.
It's a 4-2-7-6. Back in front of us, number 4. Can't Catch Kenzie, a 4-year-old big Jim Brown mare, owned by Tara Isman and Garrett Isman. Mike White-Nioski, the trainer. Jay Harris, the Green Arrow, with the winning drive. It's the 4th win this year, 5th lifetime. Can't Catch Kenzie, 155 and 4. The 6th race payouts for Can't Catch Kenzie, 440, 240, and 230. 2 Porch Pirate, 260, 267. A Nookshook Sally, 310. $2 exactor, $9. Dollar Tribe, 28.60. Dollar Super, 164.25. Sixth race, so her finish from the top is a 725.16438. That's 725.16438 on the bottom.
Yep. Perfect. Beautiful shot of the Allura Sky right there, brought to you by our wonderful broadcast team here at Grand River Raceway. Well, I'm not alive in the late pick five, but hopefully you still are with a 6-5 shot. Can't catch Kenzie. They couldn't catch her tonight, but we're going to move on now to the late pick four, starting right here in race number 7. Going to look at my ticket. We're going to start with a single because we started off with 2 singles in the pick 5. So here we go again. Single to kick it off. Trailing post. Mass Money has, just well, she was too good for them last time. I think she can do that again, even from that tricky starting spot. So singled up on her, 2, 3, 5, and 8 in race number 8. Kind of a competitive looking trotting event for non-winners of 1. Some misbehaviors in there as well. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I have an Eagle when I'm looking at from post 8. If he goes off as a price, might be worth a win ticket in there. All in race 9, so using all 5 of them with the scratch of the 3 Lady Smith. In the finale, the 1, 5, and 8. So got a couple of horses there that have been misbehaving, in recent history, but we're showing good things in their latest. That's the 1 Mystery Deal and the 8 Ancient Wall, also using Radcliffe, who's coming back off the bench for a start of his 4-year-old campaign. $12 for a 20-cent wager for yours truly. Let's see what Conley's got in store for us in this late pick 4. Now, we saw things very differently in the late pick 5, so we'll see things differently again, likely in the late pick 4. But hey, that's always good to have a difference of opinions. There's Conley's ticket 2, 4, 6, and 9 here in race number 7. So he agrees it is kind of one where, well, sorry, no, he doesn't agree. I like Mass Money as a single. He's looking at this one as a wide open event 2, 4, 6, and 9, 3, 5, and 8. That's the race there. We both kind of think there's multiple win options. And then 4, 6 in race number 9. I like Duchess of Branton there, my top choice. But I do think it's kind of a wide open event now with the scratch of the 3 Lady Smiths. So it should be interesting to see that 5-horse dash and how it plays out. Money leg, just a 3 and 7. Donna Hanover was closing nicely to be 4th last time out, and Muscle Detector off a break and stride at Mohawk Park. So we see things completely differently in the finale. $9.60 for a 20-cent ticket for Conley. But you got a minute or so to map out your winning wagers for this late pick 4 sequence. Again, the takeout's always a low 15%. We'll come back just a moment or two to take a closer look at race number 7.
Field for race number 7 on parade. 1, Father Daniels, Dustin Jones. Drives and trains and partners with the Golden Bear Racing. Number 2 is No Need for Alarm, Scott Culver, Greg McNair. Number 3 is HP Musical Alarm. It's Brian McDonough, Daryl Laverin, Leon Davidson, and John Curran. Number 4, Dominion Day, Jason Ryan from Michael Keeling and Dreamville Stable. And the Bay Stable, Camelot Stable. And number 5 is Ultra Lady S. Doug Henriksen drives, trains, and owns. Number 6, JG's pal, Scott Young for Brian Lawrence and Stuart Lawrence. Number 7, Pajamas Optional, Jeffrey O'Brien drives and trains and owns. Number 8 is Perfect Landing, Steve Houdon for Laura Toscani and Gino Toscani. And number 9 is Mass Money, Travis Henry for Mark Etzel. And Mark trains and partners in ownership with Robert Newton and Peter Porter and Lindsay Turner. Field of 9, race number 7. Well, let's get right to looking at this favorite, Mass Money. Now, it is the trailer post, but boy, Mass Money knows how to win. And at least if you don't use this one on top or up, you really have to use this one on the top two. 8 of 9 in the top two.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Yeah, 8 for 8.
I should say 8 out of 8.
This season. Yeah, coming into this one, right? And again, I think we should see that trend continue. Interestingly enough, no top 2 finishes last year in 5 tries, just a third-place finish. Has really turned it up this season and was really fantastic in that City of London series at Western Fair. And then continued to do good things at Georgian Downs and Clinton against tougher rivals, then getting into a nice spot here in numbers 2 at Grand River last time. There was no touching her. No Need for Alarm was a decent second, but there was no getting to Mass Money, and she looks fantastic on the track again this evening, and has been really getting along well with Travis Henry, and we know Mark Etzel does great things, especially with trotters. So, trailing post. I mean, we like to kind of get away from that spot, especially in a favorite, but I couldn't do it, Gary. I singled her everywhere, and I think she might just be too much for these.
I did, and I'm just taking the flyer because look. I think Mass Money might come down from even money, and I just want to at least not be on that one. But No Need for Alarm. It's Greg McNair and Scotty Coulter. They've got the better post position, and they also have the early speed.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's the big thing is the post edge, right? Nose on gate, inside draw. I mean, maybe this is the one that Mass Money is going to follow out of there. We'll have to see, but has been racing, very well in her own right. 5 on the board finishes this season since making her lifetime debut. 2 victories, and last time was kind of inching in on Mass Money, but I think Mass Money at that point had kind of already been wrapped up kind of in the final strides before this one kind of started cutting into the margin, but still a solid second nonetheless, and a horse that's been in fantastic form for trainer Greg McNair. So the post edge might be enough. And the price is certainly going to be much better. So you're right in that regard. I mean, it's no fun getting an even money shot or a 3 to 5 shot down. A lot more fun when the horse is 7 to 2, and right now those is where it's sitting. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that hold up at post time.
Dominion Day beat up this class 2 races ago. Now, Mass Money wasn't in, but Dominion Day, last race trailer post, now gets to be on the gate. Doesn't show gate speed except for that one June the 6th at Mohawk.
Yeah, and right back to the same position that he was a winner at 2 starts ago in this class. Pretty rare that you see a horse kind of offer this kind of value with that sequence, but I think that's because of the fact that you've got Mass Money in here and No Need for Alarm, who finished second to that one last time, plus missing a week between starts. But I mean, there's a lot of things that you kind of like about Dominion Day. Sloppy track last time, trailing post. Maybe just forgive that one with going off at 8 to 5. Now you're getting 8 to 1. So if you bet this horse last time, you almost have to come back to him tonight. And I think that if you look at his last 3 efforts, the 2 where he was on the gate from this same starting spot, he was no worse than second, beaten ahead. So Dominion Day, you convinced me that he's the value in here. I think he should get a piece of it either way and land somewhere in the ticket.
And I mentioned that No Need for Alarm can leave. Well, Ultra Lady S can definitely skedaddle off the gate.
Yeah, she can, and I was surprised last time that they went right back to those tactics from post 6. It was the uttermost post in that contest, and she kind of came around them, pretty easy. And then she released Rivals, and she ended up finishing a solid third, at 8-1. So maybe we see those tactics again tonight. Certainly does a lot better when she gets put into the race, and I think 6-1 is probably a bit short for a win ticket, but I think she can hit the exotics.
And JG's Pal is moving up off of a win. One that we need to keep an eye on. We didn't use this one, but JG's Pal, well, actually, pardon me, I used JG's Pal for third. You didn't use that one, but you're on the favorite, Mass Money at 9-5. It's Father Daniels, No Need for Alarm, and HP Musical Alarm on the inside. In the center, Dominion Day Ultra Lady S to the outside, JG's Pal, Pajamas Optional, and Perfect Landing. Second tier, Mass Money. It's a field of 9 for race number 7. And the field for the 7th race is at the start, and Dominion Day has broken stride. And they're at the start of the rough, and Father Daniels also with a break, and it is No Need for Alarm, who's going to press out over Ultra Lady S to get the front. Perfect Landing, HP Musical Alarm. JG's Pal is 5th away. Mass Money is 6th, and 7th is Pajamas Optional. Then Dominion Day, the field works on around the turn. No Need for Alarm. Ultra Lady S is filling the pocket right now in the back of No Need for Alarm, and No Need for Alarm is looking at now as they race past the opening quarter to pick up a second panel breather, as Ultra Lady S is right there in the pocket. And then it is Perfect Landing from an outside post who landed the 3 spot. HP Musical Alarm is 4th, and then racing 5th is JG's Pal in front of Mass Money and Pajamas Optional of a 27-3 opening quarter. No Need for Alarm, and Scotty Coulter's got the lead. HP Musical Alarm now is quickly moving up on the outside, and HP Musical Alarm against No Need for Alarm, and it is HP Musical Alarm trying to swamp No Need for Alarm, and now No Need for Alarm on the inside has sounded the alarm and is going to try to fight back and has reclaimed the lead. HP Musical Alarm, JG's Pal is forwardly placed 3rd, then Ultra Lady S, and now Mass Money is part of the outer flow and is only 3 off the lead. Down to the inside, Perfect Landing and Pajamas Optional, and now it's a slim lead for HP Musical Alarm, but No Need for Alarm on the Scotty Coulter on the inside now gets emerging into drive on, and JG's Pal is out 3 wide off the half of 58 and 4 3/4, 128 and 4, and Mass Money is moving up to striking position as well. JG's Pal and No Need for Alarm, and here comes Mass Money on the inside is Ultra Lady S, and backing away is HP Musical Alarm. They turn for home. JG's Pal, Mass Money, No Need for Alarm is dropping back on the inside. JG's Pal and Mass Money. JG's Pal, Mass Money trying to close, but JG's Pal wins it. Mass Money 2nd, Ultra Lady S 3rd, No Need for Alarm 4th, 158 and 1. JG's Pal Roberts moves up, makes it 2 wins in a row.
Yeah, 2 in a row for JG's Pal. And you know what? I mean, obviously had a week off in between starts, and still very early in this one racing for trainer Brian Lawrence. This is the 4th start now for these connections after they purchased them from south of the border. And now, kind of progressed nicely, right? 5th, first effort, then 3rd, and now back-to-back victories and moving up in class like you mentioned. So Scott Young, gets back in the bike with this one, and obviously gets along well with him. He guides him to victory and holds off a horse that, he's certainly familiar with. Mass Money, as he drove that one to a sweep of the City of London.
Yeah, and look, maybe we were a little annoyed with JG's Pal on the June 26th start, but that was the first start for Brian Lawrence. But since then, JG's Pal's been good.
Yeah, he has been. Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, that was a first overscore on July the 10th. Got up and, raced pretty well and held off Veracruz, who I thought was a winner on that occasion, and kind of hung on that one's outside. And again, it just, kind of probably still tinkering with this horse and figuring him out. It's just his 4th start for these connections. So obviously an upset winner here, and should certainly provide some value to both the pick 4 and the pick 5. Mass Money floated up 2-1. I mean, I thought we'd see odds on that horse, but I guess the trailing post scared people away. And I mean, the trip, obviously ended up being decent enough, but did kind of get, stuck in more traffic, right? And having to start from that 2nd tier.
I wanted to go against the trailer post, and my other 2 were No Need for Alarm and JG's Pal. I just took the wrong one.
Yeah, I know it happens, right? I mean, you sometimes will try to get one beat. You pick the wrong horse, but hey, those who have JG's pal, I think he's even higher than 7-1 in both the pick four and the pick five.
Back in front of us, JG's pal, 3-year-old Tactical Landing Brown gelding up by Brian Stewart Lawrence. And Brian Lawrence, the trainer, Scott Young, is the winning driver. It's the second win this year and the third lifetime JG's pal, 158-1. Seventh race payout, 6 JG's pal, 1610, 640, and 350. 9 mass money, 360 and 250. And 5 Ultra Lady S, 340. $2 exactor, $56. Dollar try, 102.50. Dollar super, 278.90. 7th race. Order of finish from the top 946-731-582. That's 946-731-582 on the bottom.
Winback Farm of Canada is home to 9 exceptional stallions, including Beach Glass, the last great son of legendary sire of sires, Some Beach Somewhere. Also new in 2024, Lawless Shadow, an O'Brien Award winner for 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings. Double millionaire betting line, sire of 5 winners of over $400,000. Mick Wicked, the richest pacing stallion in harness racing history, and Hall of Fame inductee. Trixton, sire of 6 who have earned over $500,000, including O'Brien Award winner Evident Beauty. Also standing Archangel, Better Than Cheddar, Better's Delight, and My MVP. For more information, winbackfarm.com.
Field for the 8th on parade. 1, Willie Windmill. Bill Meekins drives and trains and owns. And number 2 is Royal Beluga. Mark Etzel drives and trains for Harbor Racing. And Mark is also sharing an ownership. Number 3, George of the Jungle. Brett McDonough for Dominic Ladew and the stable. Number 4, Massive Tattoo. Bruce Richardson for John Holding and Morley Bosomworth. Number 5, Gaelic Piper. Jason Ryan drives for John Yake and Jordan McGrail. Deborah McGrail. Bethany Craig. And number 6 is TriStar Carmen. Scott Culliver, Andrew Cars, and Aaron Wood Equine. Number 7, Fly Higher. Dag Hendrickson for Mike Rive. And Mike shares in ownership with Gary Silifants. Number 8 is Ivan Angel. Eddie Hensley for Ashley Hensley. And number 9 is Timel Twister. Dave Boughton for Don Lindsay and Paul Lindsay. It is a field of 9 trotters for race number 8. Let's get a look at this field. And, well, Rob, post 8 on the trot. We've had a couple of winners from post 8 on the air, and you're going out there to post 8 with Hurricane Hensley and Ashley Hensley. Strong connections, and one that gets another try here at the river from another outside post position.
Yeah, another difficult post try. But you know what? I thought raced really well last time, Gary. That way better than the line indicates. Line looks like got away 6 off the gate, moved to the outside, improved in position. It wasn't really like that at all. Post 7, tried to leave, took back, tried to come forward again. Really, the trip scenario was a difficult one. Nothing like it looks like in the program, and I thought was still coming on again in the late stages, despite having to kind of stop and start several times in that mile, just the way the race went, and took support to the tune of even money as well, coming into it off a line where he got beat by a wide margin at Mohawk Park. Full brother to Floyd the Freak, who's a horse that actually, has kind of flourished on the shorter track and not the big track. So, I like this one's chances. And I think, right now looks pretty good on the track for Ed Hensley and Team Hensley. Happy to be with this one and liking the overlay right now, hoping that price holds.
Well, I went to the Jungle, George of the Jungle, and look, one that got off to a slow start. First 7 starts of the year, didn't make the top 3, but it's been better sailing of late.
Yeah, it has been. I mean, the last 2, kind of knocking at the door since getting here, right? Both times as the favorite. I thought last time, kind of just, made sense that he'd be able to win off his previous effort. The problem was trailing post kind of got lost in the mix early, and then had to close into them late in a race where Genie T was just, really good first over. That one's come back to race pretty decent tonight, and so did Flex on them. So by all rights, good form, reference to George of the Jungle, and now nose back on gate to post 3, and is kind of knocking at the door, right? So it might be now his chance to get to the winner's circle for the first time in his career, trending in the right direction. Price, though, 2-1. I mean, that's about where I figured it would be, and that's why I kind of went elsewhere, hoping to get some value.
I used George on top. Gaelic Piper I also used in front of Ivan Angel.
Yeah, and Gaelic Piper's one that we kind of looked at and said, prior to his latest when he was still racing here, that he's win sooner or later, right? He was another one that kind of started trending in the right direction, hitting the board with frequency here at the river. Obviously took on much tougher last time in a grassroots event at Mohawk Park, and was never able to get into the race. But now back with friends, we'll say, in the maiden ranks at the river, and should be in the mix throughout. I thought that we'd see 2 horses take the support. They're doing it right now. It's George of the Jungle and Gaelic Piper, and I'm more than happy to take a bigger number on Eye of an Eagle, who, again, I thought raced deceptively good last time.
And if you want to take a bigger number on one that might be okay, so Royal Beluga shows a lot of X's on the dance card, including that start here last time out, but you get Mark Etzel from post 10 with a trotter at 10-1.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's a horse that, if when he minds his manners, he's going to do good things. I mean, I thought this horse had all kinds of ability when he first came out last year around this time. Third in a division of the Millard Farms preliminary event for that race. Took support to 5-1 in the final. And then in Nominers went at Mohawk Park, got bet down to 8-5, made a break there. So obviously a horse that has all kinds of issues trying to stay on the trot. It's going to be, he wore trotting hopples, all last season, many qualifiers as well. He put them on again last time out. Didn't work for keeping him flat, but when he does, he's going to be like that Enchanted Angel start. 2 starts back for her. He might be able to just run away with it. So 10-1's a big number, but it's a hold your breath bet, right? Because I mean, he's probably got a better chance of breaking stride than he has of winning.
I used Massive Tattoo on the bottom. Hadn't been doing much, but last time out was much better.
He was much better. Yeah, he kind of shook loose late for third at 46-1, and like we noted, kind of jumps off the page that effort. When horses do that, they usually continue on nicely. Big price on that one as well at 25-1.
Yeah, that is a nice price, but it was higher, 46-1 last time out. Taking up their positions, Willie, Windmill, Royal Beluga, George of the Jungle on the inside of the center. Massive Tattoo, Gaelic Piper, outside, TriStar Carmen, Fly Higher, and Ivan Eagle. And the second tier, Timel Twister. It's a field of 9, the 8th race. Trotters nearing the start. And the field for the 8th race is at the start of the rough in Gaelic Piper, Massive Tattoo, and TriStar Carmen. Those the first 3. Then Fly Higher, Willie Windmill, George of the Jungle, Royal Beluga, Timel Twister, and Ivan Eagle is back trailing the field. Gaelic Piper at 2-1's got the lead. TriStar Carmen's working on the outside. Massive Tattoo is third. George of the Jungle is racing on the inside, position 4th, and then it is Willie Windmill and Fly Higher, then Royal Beluga, and then further back as they race off the turn to Timel Twister, and Ivan Eagle can see them all. They race on past us, quarter 29-2, and now TriStar Carmen, and Scotty Coulter is taking the lead, but it's a short-lived lead as Gaelic Piper is going to come back out. Off stride went Royal Beluga, and then racing third is Massive Tattoo. George of the Jungle is quickly going to step to the outside now, as back on top is Gaelic Piper. Gaelic Piper, George of the Jungle is up and driving now, and then on the inside, TriStar Carmen as they work their way on down the backstretch, and off stride went Ivan Eagle, and now George of the Jungle is sweeping up on the outside. George of the Jungle alongside Gaelic Piper, and then it is Massive Tattoo on the outside. On the inside, TriStar Carmen, though, is holding on to third. Massive Tattoo is fourth. Timel Twister is looking to storm into the front 4, and then Fly Higher. And it's Gaelic Piper for now holding off George of the Jungle, but George of the Jungle keeps on grinding. 3/4 in 1:30. George of the Jungle, Gaelic Piper on the inside. TriStar Carmen's racing third, and Massive Tattoo is fourth. It is George of the Jungle who's now leading as the field turns for home. Gaelic Piper trying to fight back. George of the Jungle on down the stretch drive they come. George of the Jungle is king of the 8th race jungle and wins it. Gaelic Piper is second. Then TriStar Carmen was able to stick for third, and Massive Tattoo finished fourth. And it is a mile of 2 minutes flat. George of the Jungle, Rob.
Yeah, George of the Jungle, we said, right, getting back to post 3, nose back on gate might be the answer for him. Last time, just had a little bit too much to do after getting away 5th from the trailing post, and he comes out on top this time around. He really battled nicely with Gaelic Piper on the outside of that rival before forging his way to the lead in the late stages. Went off as a 6-5 favorite. I thought there'd be 2 horses that took all the support, Gary. They ended up finishing 1-2. But, I don't mind kind of, going down swinging on a horse that's going to give us value. I have an Eagle, though. Just didn't want to trot tonight. Kind of had issues behind the gate. Got taken back to last and then ended up making that miscue. But the 2 favorites were too good for this group.
And TriStar Carmen is one that we didn't talk about at all, and yet that last race actually was pretty decent. Was only beaten by a slim margin.
And it was closing well, too, on the end of that one. I kind of wanted to watch him tonight and see what he did, but he impressed me because he did a lot of work early on. and then was sticking with these two in the late stages to be a good third at 8-1. He took support though. The one that didn't take much support and floated up a big number was Massive Tattoo, who another decent effort, right? So he's got two in a row now that are worth taking notice of. 44-1 this time rounds out the super.
Yeah, George of the Jungle. It gets us by with the win here. But look, probably going to wait to start. I have an eagle. Post 8 is just tough.
It is tough. It is, and now is going to need that flat line. So we'll monitor that one because, like I said, I think there's more there, and a horse that I really like the way he raced last time tonight just wasn't his night. But we'll keep an eye on where he ends up, and a better post is certainly going to be needed before we'll jump back on his bandwagon.
Coming back in front of us is the winner of race number 8. It's number 3. George of the Jungle, a 3-year-old muscle mass brown gelding, owned by the stable, trained by Dominic Gladue, and the winning drive to Brett McDonald. George of the Jungle, 2 minutes flat. Eighth race payouts 3 George of the Jungle 440, 240, and 210. 5 Gaelic Piper 250, 226 TriStar Carmen 310. $2 exact rate 30. Dollar try 1465. Dollar super 87.15. Eighth race order finish from the top. It's an 891 423 675. That's 891 423 675 on the bottom. Field for race number 9. On parade, 1, Dangerous Curves, Tyler Moore for Rod Boyd and McCann Stable. Number 2 is Stay True. It's Brett McDonough for Vern Cochran. Number 3 is Ladies. Number 3 is Scratch. Number 4 is Duchess of Brant, Travis Henry for Chris Haskell and Brooke Marks. And 5 is Ultimate Twix, Jason Ryan for Dean Nixon and Madonna Morrison. And number 6, Fashion Forward, Anthony Hunt for Meg Crone and Hut Racing. It is a field of 5 for race number 9. Let's get a look at this field. And, well, it's a pretty balanced-looking bunch. But, you know, Duchess of Brant, your top one. I remember this one last year, the first start for Chris Haskell. Won at Flamborough and then also won 3 in a row here at Grand River. So Chris was really flying with this one early last year. Got this horse from Terry Fritz, I think it was. Duchess of Brant, though, now has come back on for Chris, and one that you're rolling off of a couple of wins.
Yeah, I think she's worth going to in here, Gary. And you're right. I mean, had a lot of success for Chris Haskell when he first got her, and she's always kind of been one that picks up checks. I mean, she's only missed a check on a few occasions in the span that he's had her, and he got her around May of last year. So lots of starts, lots of pieces here and there, and some victories as well. And 2 of those just came in the last few weeks at Clinton Raceway. And I think that, she's in this in good form, and I don't think she looks out of place against this group at all. I thought she might be higher than that morning line at 3-1, and she's exactly that right now at 6-1. So we'll see what she ends up at post time. But I do think that she should be confident coming into this, and she's got the goods to end up on top against this group with the right kind of journey.
Yeah, she had a really good year last year, but was kind of slow coming around this year. But now is there 6-1. That you could lock in that value would be great. Number 5, Ultimate Twix, no value there.
No value right now at 4-5. And I thought the support might, come in her direction because she's a horse that actually kind of swells up on the lead, right? And this looks like a good spot for her to try to go back to getting forwardly placed. Last time out, got away 5th off the gate. But again, then against Val Victorian, right? So we know that a lot of horses are going to just be looking to duck in behind that one and try to sit a trip to that rival who is just too good for them for so long in this class. Before that, did go to the lead, ended up fading back to 5th in a race top by Royal Tell. But I just thought the makeup of this field kind of looked like a spot the Ultimate Twix should go back to getting forwardly placed off the gate. But even money is far too short, in my opinion.
Dangerous Curves drops a level and is one that I thought maybe people might look past just because the last couple races don't look quite as good. But 8-5, Dangerous Curves.
We both jumped all over this one as the one underneath against Val Victorian last time, and she faded back, but she had a right to, right? She had missed time between starts after being scratched due to weather on July the 10th, and obviously went a long way in the lead against much tougher. That's a top condition class, June 28th. I mean, that's a serious group of mares that she led into the stretch against before fading back to 7th and held her own the start before at that same level. So this is now going to be a second try back in the condition claiming ranks, and she should be tighter now, right? Getting back in that regular rotation. I thought she might get overlooked as well. She's not. She's 8-5, and she's been kind of bouncing around favoritism throughout the betting, and maybe she ends up there come post time.
I did use her on top. I was hoping for a little bit more. Number 6, Fashion Forward, is one that I've mentioned in the past. I'm just not sure what to make of her because she can race well, but definitely last race was not exactly that.
Yeah, she's an up and down horse, right? And last time I think she kind of needed that softer trip. She got away 7th off the gate, wasn't able to advance. Before that, first over, ended up finishing 4th. But she's one that's been versatile to the point that she can win from first over journeys and some other trips as well. So just 2 for 17 this year. But she's not out of it against this group. I just, I kind of had her just underneath position 7-1. And, it's funny, the 2 Stay True is one I was completely enamored with last time. Obviously didn't race all that great. This is now second start for Vern Cochran, and she missed a week between starts after being off significant time before that. The problem for me is this is a much tougher group now, so I couldn't come back to her. But if you're looking for a Robert Off angle, the 2 Stay True, that's your horse.
Yeah, and the comment also with Fashion Forward has missed some time now, off since June the 26th, but maybe that could work in the positive.
Sometimes, a horse like her can kind of take a step forward. Missing a bit of time between. Now she works from the uttermost post in the contest, but it's only post 5 now. Really, they should all be in contention. But we know these shorter field standards end up being a driver's race strategy wise. So we'll see who chops it out, and if someone gets an easy go of it, they might be tough to catch.
I kind of thought Dangerous Curves will make the lead, and that's why I went with that one with this field of 5, thinking you can get it your kind of your own way, but I wanted more than 6-5. Dangerous Curves and Stay True on the inside. In the center, Duchess at Brand. On the outside, Ultimate Twix and Fashion Forward. It's a field of 5 for the 9th race. And the field for the 9th race, moving into position. And they have reached the start. And the rough. And leaving out Ultimate Twix on the inside, Dangerous Curves, and to the outside, Fashion Forward. Ultimate Twix and Dangerous Curves. Ultimate Twix now has the lead. Ultimate Twix is going to come on and grab the lead. Dangerous Curves off stride. Fashion Forward second. Dangerous Curves quickly recovers, and then Duchess of Brand and Stay True. And it is Ultimate Twix now with a front. Fashion Forward is forwardly placed and is racing second. Dangerous Curves is third. Then it is Duchess of Brand and Stay True. Opening quarter 27-4. Ultimate Twix has the lead as they work on past us, heading up towards the half. Fashion Forward's racing second. Dangerous Curves is on the inside and is third. Then Duchess of Brand, and trailing the field is Stay True and Brett McDonald. They race their way on into the backstretch off that 27-4 opening quarter, and on past the half they go in 57-4. It was a 30-second second panel breather for Ultimate Twix at 4-1. Fashion Forward, Dangerous Curves is still on the inside third. Duchess of Brand is racing fourth and is about 7 off the lead. And then Stay True. It is Ultimate Twix and Fashion Forward. And there goes Dangerous Curves now. And Dangerous Curves quickly pops to the outside. Dangerous Curves has moved up and is taken over second and has dead aim on Ultimate Twix on the inside. Fashion Forward. Duchess of Brand has moved to the outside but has work to do. And then Stay True. It is Ultimate Twix and Dangerous Curves as the field turns for home. Ultimate Twix on the inside. Dangerous Curves on down the stretch drive. Ultimate Twix is game. Ultimate Twix is going to stride away and a win. Fashion Forward, Duchess of Brand, and then Dangerous Curves. 155 flats the mile time. And it was Ultimate Twix. We talked about making the front in a field of 5 was the key. Well, Ultimate Twix is the one that did it.
Yeah, and that's what I expected this one to blast off the wings of the gate, and it's what we kind of mentioned beforehand, right? This will be a good spot for her to go back to getting forwardly placed, and she's a horse that swells up on the lead. So, obviously she's aided by the fact that Dangerous Curves makes that miscue in the 2-hole. Maybe she would have been a little more dangerous if she sat a pocket trip behind her. But either way, I think Ultimate Twix is going to be hard to get past because I've seen it many times with this horse. You can see right there in her paper, May 8th goes to the front, wins at 22-1, and she did the same April the 10th. Both wins at the Raceway in London. And since then, she hasn't been able to get to the lead and hold it for any length of time. And this was like the first chance that I thought she could do it again, and she did. And she goes all the way on the engine. I went to Duchess of Brand on top, but I kind of thought it might come down to those two to decide it. Duchess of Brand ends up missing out on the place spot to Fashion Forward, but yeah, Ultimate Twix, a winner and a decent price too.
The inquiry sign is up on Dangerous Curves at that early break in stride. And we talked about the pace scenario, 57-4. You get that 30-second second panel breather. And from there, that's why you're looking at Ultimate Twix is still very game to the finish with the mile of 55.
Yeah, that's the key with her too, right? She's not the kind of horse that's going to go out there and blaze for actions throughout and keep going for you. She's a horse that when she gets that second quarter breather, that's when she really is tough to get past. And again, there's horses that just kind of flourish on the engine. She's one of them, and Jason Ryan put her in the right spot tonight.
And well, coming back in front of us is the winner of race 9, number 5, Ultimate Twix. Ultimate Twix is a 4-year-old Pang Shoe Bay mare owned by Madonna Morrison of Lexington, Kentucky. Dean Nixon, the trainer. Jason Ryan, the winning driver. Fifth win this year for Ultimate Twix. 155 flat. Note that's a new career mark for Ultimate Twix. Fans note the judge's ruling that one dangerous curve did not violate the braking regulations. The inquiry sign will go off. Ninth race payouts. 5 Ultimate Twix, $10 for 80, and 296 Fashion Forward, 730, and 364 Duchess of Brant, 320. $2 Exactor is 68.10. Dollar Try 72.65. Dollar Super 198.20. Ninth race, so her finish from the top is a 4-5 scratch 3-1-2. That's 4-5 scratch 3-1-2 on the bottom. Field for the 10th on Parade 1, Mystery Deal. Chad Ratchford for Gaeta Hebert and Luke Albright. Number 2 is Dylan Double. It's Ryan DeRoche for Mark McCormick. Number 3, Donna Hanover, Jason Ryan for Mike Healing and Dreamville Stable and Harbor Racing. Number 4 is Tricky Box, Sammy Fillion for Francis Gilmet and Jean Allaire. And 5 is Radcliffe. Paul Walker drives for Brenda Walker and Christine Walker. Number 6, Electro Longlegs. Scott Kohler for Melissa Lamberou. And number 7, Muscle Detector. Travis Cullen for Greg McNair and Dean Lockhart. And Thomas Rankin and Trojan Horse. 8 is Ancient Wall, Phil Houdon for Kyle Rule and Triple S Equine. 9, Fastnet Rock. It's Brett McDonough for Matt Dupuis, Lance Wells, and Lyndon Wells. Field of 9, race number 10. Let's get a look at this field, and, well, no mystery where we want to start because we both have the one mystery deal and one that has been facing tougher. Now, there is one problem. You see those X's in May, a couple of breaks in stride, but does get a flat line last time out.
Yeah, gets a flat line last time out, and I thought was, closing pretty nicely, in the center of the track in the late stages. Obviously not getting near the top finishers, and that's the new OSS Gold mid-season consolation event. Picked up a smaller share, though. Good back half of 55-1, 55-1 on the odds board as well. But there are those breaks recently, right? But facing tougher competition, gold level, SPOA final, one start over a 5/8 mile track area in his career. And it was a fourth place finish in an OSS Gold at Georgian last season. So, again, pole position is not the best spot to be for a horse that makes breaks. I just thought that he looks like one that's ready to pop, and this is the right spot for him to do it.
Ancient Wall is also one that's had some problems staying flat. The program is littered with X's, but not on the last start.
No, not at all. Looked fantastic first start for Kyle Rule, who we kind of mentioned beforehand, right? Like this is a trotter that with connections that do well with trotters. If they ever turn him around, he's got all kinds of ability. I mean, around this time last year, he won a non-Rizza 1, non-Rizza 2 at Mohawk Park back-to-back efforts, then finished second in non-Rizza 2 again before hitting a wall when he stepped up in class after that. So he's one that's got, a lot of talents, and if they can unlock it and keep him flat, he can do good things. I think he's got a big chance from post 8, and he's the value on the board right now at 5-1.
Number 5, Radcliffe, Paul Walker, longtime successful trot man and overall trainer, and drives. And Radcliffe is one that was really good last year, but has not raced yet this year.
No, has not raced as a 4-year-old, so it's been a long time off between starts. Qualifier was a good one. They did have him scheduled to come back a bit sooner, and he was scratched due to sickness. But 7 on the board finishes in 11 tries last year. And I think, if you're coming into this on a regular rotation, Radcliffe's probably the horse you want to get behind. I just wasn't sure if, maybe we want to watch this one a start or two before we want to jump on his bandwagon. He's good enough to win in here. I mean, he's got an easy victory, and now there's a 2 at Mohawk Park on the card. But again, you're coming into this off a lot of time, and he might need a couple before he can get back to that level. So you got to use them, but 5-2 to me is a bit of an underlay.
Number 7, Muscle Detector, is one that romped at Flamborough in the Grassroots May the 19th. Things haven't been all that good since.
Yeah, break and stride last time, OSS Grassroots event, Mohawk Park. Before that, third by a wide margin, though, to Can-Am Banker. But that was a track record time. 59 flat over Dresden Raceway on that occasion. For me, he's a tough nut to crack. I've never really guessed right on this horse. He's 1 for 11 in his career. He has on the board finishes. I think he can be in the mix in here. I think he also could miss the ticket entirely. So I'm using him in the high five, but not really sure, where to put him. Probably third, fourth, and fifth in those spots for me.
I went to Donna Hanover second behind Mystery Deal. I thought Donna Hanover can build off of that pretty decent last start.
Yeah, I thought it was. I looked at the replay. I thought it was better than what I was expecting to see. Look at the race line. Just thought this race came up pretty tough for Donna Hanover. Now she was bet down to 2-1 on that occasion. Now you're getting 7-1 this time out. Against I'd say a class that's about I guess pretty comparable in most cases, but I do think there's a couple tough ones like Mystery Deal and Ancient Wall. Both those ones have to mind their manners. Donna Hanover's done a really good job at that, so I think she can make her way onto the exotics. And 7-1. Again, if you backed her last time, you always have to come back to her blind tonight.
Well, it's a field of 9 for the final dash. Taking up their positions, Mystery Deal, Dealin' Double, Donna Hanover. In the center, Tricky Buck, Radcliffe. To the outside, Electro Longlegs, Muscle Detector, and Ancient Wall. And the second tier, it belongs to Fastnet Rock. Field of 9, the 10th and final dash. On a wonderful Wednesday, horses are gathered in behind the gate at the river. The 10th race trotters entering the backstretch. They're nearing the start. And they're at the start of the rough. An Ancient Wall from the outside. Electro Longlegs and Tricky Buck and Dealin' Double. And then Mystery Deal, Donna Hanover, Radcliffe. And then it is Muscle Detector and Fastnet Rock. Made a break. Ancient Wall from post 8 makes the lead. Ancient Wall Dealin' Double at 50-1 is currently dealing from the pocket, and Tricky Buck is racing third. Mystery Deal is fourth. Electro Longlegs has those legs fifth, and then Donna Hanover, and back to Radcliffe and Muscle Detector. But right now it is Ancient Wall and Phil the Thrill with the lead. Advantage is a length and a half. Dealin' Double is currently dealing second. Tricky Buck is racing third. Mystery Deal is racing along on the inside fourth in front of Electro Longlegs, and then Donna Hanover. Now Radcliffe is going to pop to the outside and get the cover of Donna Hanover, who took out, and then it is back to Muscle Detector eighth, but it is Ancient Wall at 5-2, who leads the charge up towards the half off at 28-1 opening quarter. Dealin' Double long shot at 50-1 is racing position second. There goes Mystery Deal now, who's going to move up first over, but has still got work to do, about 3 off the lead. Then Tricky Buck on the inside fourth, Donna Hanover on the outside fifth, Electro Longlegs sixth, Radcliffe seventh, and then Muscle Detector, Ancient Wall. But Mystery Deal is now coming on quickly and is only about a half length off the lead. Up a 59.5, they head to 3/4. Ancient Wall still has the lead though, looking to hold off Mystery Deal. Those two have a bit of separation over Dealin' Double and Donna Hanover. Then Radcliffe and Tricky Buck, Electro Longlegs and Muscle Detector. Mystery Deal is getting closer now. Mystery Deal has come on to take the lead. Ancient Wall on the inside tries to fend off Mystery Deal, but Mystery Deal off stride goes Radcliffe. Mystery Deal and Ancient Wall. Mystery Deal, as they come to the finish, is going to win. Mystery Deal, Ancient Wall, Donna Hanover, and then Electro Longlegs, and Tricky Buck was off stride at the finish. A mile of 1:57.2. Mystery Deal. You nailed the top two here, Mystery Deal and Ancient Wall, who raced very well, Rob.
Gary, and I kind of expected the race to kind of go like that, right? The Ancient Wall going to the lead from even that outermost post in the contest, and then Mystery Deal getting relaxed away and taking a shot at him at some point in the mile. It's exactly how it played out. And Mystery Deal was just too much for Ancient Wall, who raced, I thought, fantastic to be second, all things considered, and a horse that is certainly turned it around for Kyle Rule. But a nice win for Mystery Deal. It's going to be good for his confidence too. Just the second victory of his career. He's had to face very tough horses in many of those efforts, and now Gaetan Hebert, gets him back to the winner's circle for the first time as a sophomore, and in fine fashion too.
And I should mention the inquiry sign is coming up. Tricky Buck was off stride at the finish. Radcliffe was coming on and looked like you were going to nail the top three, but then Radcliffe also made an unfortunate break.
Yeah, I made a miscue, and he's one to obviously watch because I mean he's got a lot of ability. I'll be honest, like I thought this was a really deep version of this class overall, and I thought both drivers too felt like they had strong horses under them too. Todd Ratchford and Phil Hudon, they were matching strides, kind of trotting away from their rivals, and both were kind of sitting chilly until obviously Phil went to the well a little earlier than Todd. Todd actually really didn't have to go to the well at all. Mystery Deal, it was an easy winner, but in any event, good horse race between those two.
I probably got a little too aggressive with Donna Hanover, but part of it was going against the outside post. But Donna Hanover at least was respectable.
No, she raced well. I mean, she finishes third, and again, by all rights, I mean, if this class comes up the way it usually does, then she's second or maybe even a winner. So she might be sitting on a win at this level. She's progressed nicely since coming north of the border.
Well, we both thought there was no mystery on who to take here in the 10th, and we were right. And back in front of us is one Mystery Deal. Mystery Deal, a 3-year-old wheeling and dealing bay gelding owned by Gaytab Bear and Luke Albrecht. Gaytab Bear is the trainer. Todd Ratchford's the winning driver. First win this year. Second lifetime for Mystery Deal. 157 and 2. Fans note the judge's ruling that number 4 Tricky Buck did not violate the braking regulations and will stand fifth. Tenth race payouts, one mystery deal. For $50, $3 to 68, Ancient Wall. $5 $4.23, Donna Hanover $3.20. The $2 exactor numbers 1 and 8, mystery deal and Ancient Wall. Returns. That $2 exactor of 1 and 8, mystery deal and Ancient Wall, coming up in just a couple of seconds. And on a $2 exactor ticket, is $20.50. Dollar try $26.85. Double of 5 and 1, $66.10. Dollar pick 3, $63.90. Dollar pick 4, $11.90, $4.55. The dollar pick 5, $2,800 and $15.15. Dollar high 5, $1,700, $25.25. The 10th race order finish from the top is a 163, 584, 729 on the bottom. Once again from the top down, 163, 584, 729. Fans, that concludes the live harness racing program for this Wednesday evening. Action resumes on Friday. Our first dash will go to post at 6:30 p.m. on Friday. Buenas noches, amigos. Good night, everybody. Good night, John.